it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Don't let that team stand in the way. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Yes, it is. Happy Thursday to all you fine Buckeye fans out there. I'm Timmy Hall, the boatman back there running things in a pretty full house tonight on a Beers and Buckeyes Thursday. Best day of the week, ladies' night. My only friend, sitting to my right, Tyvis Powell, everybody.
Oh, Timmy. You know, Tim, I'm lonely. I'm going to be lonely. My wife and kids have gone up to Worcester.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because what happened was my wife and I were supposed to take a vacation to.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
See, that's my point.
I thought you had feeling. Now, look, I want you to take a vacation, but we've been down that road before, right?
Wait.
And when I talk about vacation, you dump it back on me like I'm not working hard. Here you're talking about going on vacation. Which is it?
Can I tell the story?
I guess.
All right. So we were supposed to go on vacation, but my wife called it off. She said, you know what? I don't want, we got other stuff that we need to be focused on, so we're not going to go. And it was to, I think it's Punta Cana. Is that how you said Punta Cana?
You were actually going on a real vacation.
Yeah. Just me.
Leaving the country.
Yeah, just me and her, because she got it. So it's a long story, but my neighbors, who's not my neighbors anymore because they moved, his wife, this guy he's a Wolverine. His wife became really good friends with my wife, and she invited her to her birthday party, and they're going there to celebrate. Anyways, they left today, and my wife had already had our kids. Her mother was going to watch the kids, and she said, you know what, just bring them up anyways, and you and Tyvis just have the weekend for yourselves. So my wife is up there dropping the kids off for tonight.
And she's coming back.
She's coming back
so
tomorrow.
then you get the weekend at least.
And we'll
get
go
Saturday, Sunday.
We'll go bowling.
And two-step, 2-day weekend.
We'll go to, I think we're going to Lincoln Social on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're going to have.
doing the Columbus things tomorrow.
Some things. We obviously, we don't get a chance to do it as much. So this weekend, we're going to do that. And then.
You see, we were talking about things like this on yesterday's show. And I think you're hitting on a sort of your thing there. A before football season to-do list.
Yeah.
Did you hear us talking about some of those?
Yeah. But this is.
And that's like, get a nice date in. Get a weekend alone with your spouse, significant other. Yeah. You're going to be busy for all the weekends. You have to do something like that. It's good for you.
I won't see her. I think my off days once football season starts, the Browns and college football starts, I think my off day is like Monday or Wednesday, but then she works and the kids go to school, so it's always a lot.
Oh, all right. Before we talk Buckeyes, give me that hat, because I'm gonna have to show your hat to the folks. I'll have to walk it up there to the camera for the people that watch the show on YouTube Live. As you know, that's a good way you can listen to and watch the show to see our lovely faces. Hello, everybody out there,
brand new
Buckeye
hat.
lovers. He comes in and shows me this hat.
Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thanks, Boatman. Yeah, so he comes in while we're listening to the End of Man and Bones show there, and he's got a guard's hat. He always has a Cleveland hat, and he leans in and points to. He's wearing his hat backwards, like the good man that he is, and it has this monogrammed thing that I now see isn't custom. It's actually part of the hat, but it's perfect for you. Explain this while I go show it. It says diet starts Monday.
Yeah, so every about 4 to 5 months, Bodie, I like to switch my hats up because I wear them every day, so they get pretty worn down. So I got to keep one in rotation. Well, I was so happy to be searching the internet a couple of days ago, and I came across this hat, and I was like, I showed it to my wife, and I hadn't even seen the back of the hat. I just liked the script Cleveland on it. I was like, oh yeah, this is the perfect hat for me. And she was like, oh, it fits you perfectly because it says diet starts Monday, and you always talking about a diet.
It's perfect. And every week it's a new thing for you. It's your life, that hat. And you know what? The font is cool because it has sort of a Family Matters TV show, like 90s sitcom kind of intro type of script to it font.
Yeah, so I've been rocking this hat today. I got it yesterday and couldn't wait to see you so you can approve of my hat.
I see your diet this week is now shifted to sweet snacks in the evening hours. We've got one of our favorites. It is National Refreshment Day. So did you know that? I mean, I think you're a guy that can.
I did not know that.
If we're going to stay away from alcohol, too, if I leave alcohol away from it, you'd be perfect because, I mean, refreshing drinks, you're all for it. And a refreshing snack right there.
Oh, I made it.
Well, just fruit snacks. Lovely.
My wife had some her friend and her husband over yesterday, and I played bartender, had some really good drinks going. I got a blueberry Moscow Mule, and then I made frozen strawberry daiquiris. They said that doesn't make sense that a guy who's never drank alcohol can make a drink that good.
I think it makes perfect sense, and I think you hear about things like this in other avenues as well. Like just because, look, Mike Leach never played college football, right? He never played big-time football, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't, inspect the game, study the game, and evolve offense as we know it.
Yeah.
And, I think we're not going to be able to get Mike Leach into being a Hall of Famer because of that win percentage crap where he's like 1 percentage point too low. But maybe we can change that because man does some kick-ass press conferences. As we've been looking for the best, college football press conference this summer. He's got 2 of them that are in there. But that's cool that you make those drinks. I would like to have, what would you make for me if you could do something with bourbon? What would it be? You're not Bo Bishop. Do a Tyvis thing. Okay. Just a Tyvis old-fashioned.
You take an old-fashioned?
I would.
That's actually next up on my list of drinks that I need to learn how to make. Problem is my wife isn't a big bourbon drinker, so I would have to find somebody that likes bourbon to sample it for me and then tell me what I need to do to adjust it.
I'd like you to get exotic with it. I'd like you to put smoke in it or something like that. The presentation. You got to make the table or the people that are gathering at the bar you got to bring their eyes in.
I'm about to take my talents on the road, man. They say the drink's so good, I should just, start me a little mini bar and pull up on people and just pop the bar out.
That's great. So fun show in terms of guests tonight, 6:33, our man who is getting married, so we'll congratulate him. We'll talk about the love story there. Pat Murphy from Bucknuts. That's why he took that trip last week. He had to miss a hit one week, and he couldn't tell me why. I don't know why he couldn't tell me off the air. I guess I didn't have his trust for that.
Must be what it is.
We'll talk about that, too, is why I didn't have that. But also, 7:33, your guy, my friend, Buckeye basketball expert extraordinaire from the Towel Gang, calling some TBT action, too. Carmen's crew moving on. They're having a nice run. Joey Lane will be with us live at 7:33, so can't wait for that. But Tyvis, we keep getting ready for Buckeye football. We're 1 week away now. The Fan is going to be there for these open to the public practices. It's a new day, NIL events. We're trying to sell experiences for Ohio State football. I think it's great. I mean, we've had training camps in the NFL that have been open. So it's going to be buzzing. We're going to be there. Morning Juice, Bishop and Friends. I say we, I meant we as in the Fan. We're not going to be every single show all day long, but for when practice is going on in the morning, we'll have Morning Juice and Bishop and Friends out there. So the show's from 6 to noon, and all the people are walking around checking out the Buckeyes, and they're going to be getting down to business, man, and starting to make that march towards that first game at the end of August.
It'll be some exciting times for a lot of fans, and it's pretty cool that they opening up so people can see, what training camp is like. I tell you what, if it was there when I was there, you would have been. You'd have been fired up for sure. And I'm sure Coach Day's going to do a really good job. When he did it last year, it was a really good event. I thought people had fun out there. It was hot, though. I tell you that. It was very hot out there, but you learn how a training camp can be for players.
It's different when people are watching, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You get a crowd out there.
Yeah.
See, now I can't.
Mentality's shifted.
Every rep matters. You can't embarrass me because then the crowd going to react and then I'm going to feel some type of way. So, yeah, I ain't going for it.
Okay, so Tyvis, in the last couple of weeks or so, and you might have been out on some of these shows. I know we had Austin in here. DeVere's been in here as well. The usual suspects. We had been counting up our biggest Buckeye football storylines going into the season. So, and I had been giving some of our Pat Murphy was on the phone one of these days. I gave him a pick. We kind of started at the biggest one and went on down. And I think Austin Ward started things off with Chip Kelly. We had, Will Howard, and the quarterback situation was 2. I think that was Pat's pick. Caleb Downs comes to Sebus. Austin went right back to that one. Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson.
Yeah,
I was just looking at Trey Sermon's Northwestern game not too long ago because the last time Ohio State was in
he holds the
Big
record.
Ten title.
Doesn't he hold the record for most rushing yards in the Big Ten championship game?
Yes, but he also holds the record for most rushing yards in an Ohio State football game. He broke Eddie George's record that year. Don't you remember that part of the equation, too?
I thought it was just the Big Ten.
It might have been in the Big Ten title game because it was over 300 yards. He broke Eddie's single game record.
No kidding.
That man who came here from Oklahoma and had that one hot season. But anyway, I was thinking of him because of the whole Big Ten championship game. They were just in Indy doing the press conferences on the football field where they have to get back to. But Quinshon and Travion Henderson being in the backfield, that was the fourth one. Adam King was picking these two. Sonny Styles moves positions. That was 5. Offensive line and the battles there, that was way too far down this list, but that was 6. Jeremiah Smith and his impact, that was 7. Then it's open. So I'm looking for the next best. What's the next thing on the list for Ohio State?
For me, it would probably be Brandon Ennis, who gets that third spot, because what I seen recently, Coach Day was talking about when Brandon Ennis is out there, you notice he has to be out there type thing. So I'm thinking Jeremiah Smith, you got Carnell Tate, you got Emeka. All right, so who's the odd person out? That's the question.
So where's Jeremiah? Is he 2 or 3?
That's my problem. I don't know.
So you're just saying the rest of the wide receiver room, depth, how these things shake out.
I gotta know.
I'm intrigued too, because
but something that's more intriguing than that is the G. Scott thing.
Tight end.
Yeah, you got to replace Cade Stover, who was he came along last year. He was a big weapon, and now
was a big weapon for 2 seasons here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So G. Scott I need to see what he's made of. I mean, a receiver that's going to tight end. After you just seen that the success that a tight end can have and the impact that a tight end can have in this offense, it's his time to step up. What we mark him down at, what category was it? Prove it?
Yeah, he's a prove it guy.
Yeah.
G. Scott Jr. for sure. Yeah, the ball's yours now.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting some opportunity. Haven't you been peppering him on the EA college football game?
Oh, he's a beast.
Those video game tight ends.
Beast.
I tell you.
Oh, G is a beast on NCAA.
They run such great routes in video games. They get that slot and they just get open. They have that one cut and they're open right there. You hit the ball low.
What G be doing to them safeties and them linebackers is almost unfair.
All right. There's a thing that many in college football have pointed the finger and called Ohio State out on this thing. And maybe all there is to do is embrace it. Tell you what next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp. Presented by Safelite, Bob Discount Furniture, and Weber. Happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center August 1st through 4th. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2024 to purchase your tickets today. It's time to grab deliciousness by the handful with the new Donato's Calzado. That famous Donato's golden crispy crust on the outside, folded and loaded with Donato's deliciousness inside. They cut it in two. Trust me, you're not sharing. The new Donato's Calzado. Dinner for one, just got a lot more fun. Create your perfect calzado stuffed with up to 3 toppings for just $7.99 for a limited time. Order now.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
And now we're on our way with Coda, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Whether it's game day or every day, Coda moves Buckeyes fans down the line toward victory. Download the Transit app today for an easy way to plan and pay for your next trip. Visit coda.com/transit app to learn more.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is a part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is safe and clean for the players every game at the Schottenstein Center. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com. Libman, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Remember how that little girl in Poltergeist was in the TV?
They're here.
Yeah? Well, she's actually dead now. It's quite sad. Anyway, watch your favorite fan shows on your TV by subscribing to us on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan. Do it now.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, Ohio! The Ohio State Fair is happening now through Sunday, August 4th. Don't miss the food, rides, animals, entertainment, the butter cow, and so much more. Tickets on sale at ohiostatefair.com.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny and comfortable. Temperatures around 80 degrees on this Thursday. Overnight down to the upper 50s with mainly clear skies and light winds. Fair skies, low humidity, and a pleasant Friday afternoon. Temperatures back in the low to mid 80s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz.
The home of Big Ten championships and future first rounders. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Timmy and Tyvis on a Beers and Buckeyes Thursday right here. Tyvis ain't drinking the beer, but he's mixing the drinks. A mixologist is right. Tyvis Powell.
That's right.
I like that.
Old Fashions is next on my list.
I can't wait. I've got my grandfather's beverage cart. It's my favorite furniture piece that I got to take back from their home when we were, cleaning everything out after they both passed away 3 or 4 years ago. Beautiful piece of furniture. It always caught my eye, too, whenever I would go to their house.
Yeah.
You visit the grandparents' house. They always have, there's always something that just sticks with you, right, from childhood or even as you get older, too. Mm-hmm. I think this was an item I started to notice more when I got older. Like, man, that's just nice. It just has a good look to it. It's got these wings on it. It's got these cool brass wheels. It reminds me of something that would be in John Hamm's office in Mad Men.
Okay.
That type of thing where he would have his bottles of bourbon or he would have the decanter in there and some nice whiskey glasses.
I got some decanters at my home, man.
And it's got wood accents, but the top is like this smooth black stone. So you can polish it really nice.
Yeah, I like that.
And you can fold the wings down so it's smaller or pop them up if you need it for presenting and setting drinks up on there.
Beverage carts.
Oh, beautiful piece. Yeah, I've got it in the basement. It's nice.
I'm going to have to look into that. So if I'm going to really take this new talent of mine and let it flourish.
What's the What's your favorite piece of furniture that you got in the home?
My favorite piece of furniture in my home is probably my bed because that.
Oh no!
No, it is.
Oh
it
wow!
Is.
I think we know why.
No, because when when I was in the NFL, they gave us
when you were banging.
Yeah, back when I was banging. Sleep Number gave us a $5,000 coupon because the NFL was sponsoring, or Sleep Number was
still
sponsoring.
Are, right?
Yeah, probably. And everybody would get this $5,000 coupon. So I took the coupon back when I was making all that money, and I was like, well, go get me the most expensive bed. I'm getting $5,000 off of it. So I ended up getting like a $12,000 bed, $7,000, boom, and yeah.
Yeah, all right. So that's it, huh? That's not a piece that you notice, though.
No,
that's not something that catches your eye. You're not walking past it in the living room. It's not like a nice armoire or a buffet table.
I don't know what to call what I have, but where all my liqueurs is stored in all my mix and stuff.
A cabinet of some sort?
Yeah, but like I can't quite name what it is. It's like a cabinet.
A hutch? You know about a hutch? Like a cabinet that has sort of another set of levels to it. So it kind of looks maybe
doors.
like a dresser, but then there's a cabinet that's on top of it that goes taller. So almost like a cabinet with no doors.
Well, this one got sliding doors in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's like I have to take a picture.
You have to take a photo,
Yeah.
send it. Maybe then I'll know the name.
Yeah.
Not like a buffet table or anything.
I wouldn't.
Or an entertainment.
I wouldn't
center.
necessarily classify it as that.
But you like it.
I do
it's like
like
good
it.
sturdy wood.
Yeah.
Is it a rustic wood or a more modern?
It's black. It's all black.
Okay. More modern looking. All right. Well, hey, Bodeman, he mentioned Sleep Number. Isn't that Dak Prescott's thing? He's sleeping on the Sleep Number?
He's sleeping on the Sleep Number.
Done him a lot of good, right?
Yes, it has. Yep. Hey, good news. Training camp getting underway today. We had the State of the Cowboys with Jerry, Mike, and Steven. CD's not there. That don't matter. It's not like he's that good anyway.
Ouch.
That was me being sarcastic. They should pay him.
Okay,
good.
I know you talk about the Cowboys.
Do you think he would sit out of games?
I don't think it'll come to that, but I guess it wouldn't shock me. I don't know. How often does that really happen? I feel like that doesn't happen too often.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because guys aren't willing to. I don't know what he's making. He's a 5th-year option.
Pretty sure, yeah.
So he's not willing to leave,
17 million.
Yeah, you're not about to let that just sit there.
It's like how T. Higgins couldn't let a franchise tag
20 million.
sit there.
Le'Veon Bell is the last person that you'll ever see do that.
He left a lot of cash out there.
God, for a running back.
And then his career, he never,
that was it, He
did anything.
He got paid by the Jets, but it just wasn't.
Well, because even with Le'Veon, running backs had still started to become one of the lower valued positions. I mean, he was at the height of that. He was one of those, and that's what he was banking on, right? Himself. He was one that could possibly buck that trend. You were so good and so valuable as a receiver and a running back. He thought he might break that trend.
He was like a CMC, and he just, I don't know why he didn't just, what did he leave, like 20, was it 20 million he left on the table? It was something crazy.
Oh, he had a big-time offer.
It was crazy.
Makes me think about Terrell Pryor's offer a little bit while we're talking about those. The offer that he had.
Wait, who, the Browns?
Yeah, the offer he had to have a nice little bridge deal. Not even a bridge deal, just a good, maybe 3-year contract for many millions.
And he said no?
Yeah, he turned it down.
Where you go to Washington?
Right? Something like that. I think he did go to Washington for a year. And
that was the worst.
Did not wind up being the same. So pocketing a lot of that cash would have turned out to be a great deal at the time.
I'm not mad at people for banking on themselves.
No.
But you just got to be.
But always, hindsight's 20/20.
You gotta be aware of what's going to happen if you bet wrong.
All right, so speaking of cash, when we talk about these Buckeyes and the way things are now in college football, one of the things that we had started to hear throughout the offseason from, people that want to beat Ohio State, schools that want to be more like Ohio State too, of course, but the chorus was raising, look at what the Buckeyes are bringing in. Quinshon Judkins is transferring to Ohio State. Must be nice, right? A lot of MBN, a lot of must be nice. Mm-hmm. Quinshon's there. Caleb Downs is going there. Taking another center from Alabama. Getting your pick of the quarterback market out there. Buying all the players.
They were late on that one. So
they were late on that one. And I don't know if Will Howard, you would say, is the pick because Dylan gave. I mean, nothing against Will Howard. Will's been great, has been saying and doing all the right things since he got here. I've said that before, but it's another thing when it's time to see him play and throw the football consistently. I'm hoping for the best, really hoping for the best for you, Will. But people were kind of pointing the finger and almost calling Ohio State out for just simply doing what is allowed.
What everybody else was doing.
What everybody else is also doing, right? And I know Oregon is getting the finger pointed at it, too. I wouldn't care if I was Oregon, if I got Nike backing me and I got Phil Knight backing me. Look, we're in a kind of a strange place out there in the Pacific Northwest for where big-time college football things happen. I would want to do whatever I could to maximize off all those cool uniform combos and the apparel that we had for so many years. Now we can basically broadcast that out and compensate players to come and be a part of it. Ohio State, yes, clearly has done that. When Ross Bjork recently says here, $20 million very well may be the NIL dollar amount for this team. I just say lean into that, embrace it, just say, yeah, okay.
It's a new,
sure.
It's just a new day in college football. You either gonna go with it or you're gonna get left behind. And that's, if you're an Ohio State fan, you should be thankful and glad that they've leaned into it, and thank God for the generous donors that's helping out the process and all of those things. I mean, Ohio State's, because right now they talk about them as one of the teams that's probably going to win the national championship. It's better to be in that conversation than to be in the conversation to, well, it's just another year. Let's see what happens. Like that's not where you want to be. You can get left behind in this, and obviously things is not great in life if you're left behind. The one thing that people bank on is that the Buckeyes is going to be good on Saturdays, and that's what you want to see to the rest of the time.
All right, our man Pat Murphy from Bucknuts recently booked tickets to one of the best tasting beers a man could ever have, the wedding beer. We're going to talk beers and Buckeyes with him next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter doesn't have a mullet, but he's knee-deep in mullet energy. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me, pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet store, America's arch supports experts.
It's time to start saving with deals for days at Giant Eagle and Market District. From the everyday essentials to your must-have branded favorites, Deals for Days has low prices on more than 1,000 items across the store. Don't delay. These discounted prices on your go-to groceries will only be available for a limited time. Learn more about Deals for Days at gianteagle.com or dive into savings today at your local Giant Eagle or Market District.
The summer sell-down is on at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Save thousands with bonus cash on select inventory. Plus, get another $2,500 off any new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram with your trade. One Performance, 2 locations, Georgesville and Delaware.
Trade value based on KBB, comparable 2010 model or newer, and price of $5K.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Wouldn't it be fun if we went back and aired old Buckeye games where they kicked the crap out of people? It's happening, baby. Join Timmy Hall for Buckeye Replay, Saturday at 1.
This week, Ohio State and Washington from 2007.
The Fan.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices. Friday, July 26th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 26th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. We'll see you there.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing Optimized IT, the managed services division of Modern Office Methods. With our cutting-edge managed IT services, we ensure your business always stays ahead of the curve, keeping you one step ahead of your competition. We bring proven management strategies to the table to support your current IT team, as well as provide insight on how to maximize efficiency, helping you achieve your goals faster. Concerned about security? Our backup solutions help guarantee your data is protected around the clock, giving you peace of mind. Start at OptimizedIT.net for your free IT assessment. Stay ahead, stay secure, and stay optimized.
And now we're on our way with Coda, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Whether it's game day or every day, Coda moves Buckeyes fans down the line toward victory. Download the Transit app today for an easy way to plan and pay for your next trip. Visit coda.com/transit app to learn more.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The show that knows how to throw a big, giant Buckeye party. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Yes, you are. Timmy and Tyvis. Pat's coming up here in just a second. Party on, Tyvis.
Party on, Timmy.
Party on, Bodeman.
Party on. Tri-State Health.
Oh, yeah. My friends at Tri-State Men's Health, they are here for you for all of your erectile dysfunction needs. That's the way they like to put it, right? Party on, my guys. If you've got ED, it does not have to be a detriment anymore. We can have a party because we're going to Tri-State. We're going to march right in there, and we're going to fix it. We're going to turn those frowns upside down. But no, seriously, it's a terrible condition, and that's why we love our guys at Tri-State Men's Health, because that's their thing. That is their motto. They are into helping men get the help that they need so they can have better relationships. It causes anxiety, undue hardships. You don't need any of that. We want to be there for our partners as well, so don't suffer any longer. All you got to do is go to that website, check out everything that they can do for you, and get started on your journey to not having ED be such a tough condition on you anymore. TriStateMen'sHealth.com. Lovely locations right here in Central Ohio, and I get that low T treatment at the one right in Hilliard, right off of 270 on Cemetery Road. Tell them Timmy Hall sent you. Our man Pat Murphy is not going to need any of that noise because this guy's getting married. It's time for some beers and Buckeyes.
Drink up, Slappy. It's time for Beers and Buckeyes with Patrick Murphy.
Patrick, congratulations, my friend. That's an awesome deal. I know, I kind of joked with you a long time because I know you and the lovely Sarah have been together for a while, but that's very, very cool news. Congrats.
I appreciate it. I had a buddy text me about 20 minutes ago and told me you guys were talking about this on air, so I'm glad you've broken the news to the world that we are indeed engaged. So it only took 8 years.
It's a big thing, man, and I assume from you saying it's been 8 years, like it was with my wife, we had openly talked about it. So some of the surprise to it, I don't know how many people anymore have this as a surprise where it comes out of left field, but how was it? What can you share with us about how it went down?
Yeah, it was good. There was certainly a surprise. I mean, Sarah knew it was coming at some point. She did not know it was coming last Friday. And then I doubled the surprise by Friday was also my birthday, so she thought we were going to then go out for my birthday and see some friends. And we got to the bar, and there were a lot more friends, and some of her family and some of my family. And so she got surprised twice, and then we had a great night.
That is cute.
That's nice. Thanks, yeah. That's a good idea that you had, Pat, where you made that about her, and it's about you. It's about the two of you, but it was your birthday. I see what you did. There's actually a day on the calendar there that you'd be thinking about, and then you use that as the opportunity to get some surprise out of something that you said, yeah, we know is coming inevitably.
Right, yes. And funny story, our friend Brandon Beam also proposed to his now lovely wife, Meredith, on his birthday after 8 years. So I did not take that idea. I told them, and they were like, hey, that's exactly what Brandon did. I was like, wow.
Shut up.
That is funny.
Imagine that, taking something from Beamer, and it worked.
I was a 5-year guy. And yeah.
The wife and I, we started dating basically the year I arrived at KU. So it wound up being maybe 4 or 5 years as well for us, Tyvis. From when we met to when we were getting proposed.
When you know, you know. So how have you been with the Buckeyes? Was there anything out of Big Ten Media Days that struck you by surprise?
You know, it's interesting from an Ohio State perspective. I was talking with a couple of the other guys after all the Ohio State interviews were over on Tuesday. Like, this was one of the least newsy Big Ten Media Days that I can remember. And I think that has to do with the fact that this team is so familiar, right? I mean, so many guys came back. Yes, you have questions at quarterback, but they don't have an answer at that yet until they get out for fall camp. Same with the offensive line, same with linebacker. So there just wasn't a ton to talk about except, you know, the hype that surrounds this team. And that was a conversation not just with the Ohio State contingent, but kind of everybody there. I think it surprised me how openly people talked about just how good this Buckeye team could be. And, you know, it's not a surprise. The talent is there, but you don't often hear that. You know, we didn't hear it about Michigan going into last season, and maybe that was because it was a bit more of a surprise with what they were able to end up doing. But that was kind of it, was just kind of how can the Buckeyes live up to the hype? And I think that's kind of what we're all waiting for, right?
Yeah. I think that's interesting you went that route there, Pat, about the least newsiest Big Ten Media Days in a while, because I was thinking about this the other day, too, and this is a good thing, right? Where, and not just this year, I think it's a multi-year deal, where you're not hearing anything bad about any of these players off the field. I wonder if that is just a rise with everything that has happened in the game now. You stand and you have a chance to earn and gain more for yourself. Maybe some added levels of maturity come along with that. I don't know if you've seen anything or if that has caught you as well, Pat, covering this team the last several years.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think some of it has to do with the fact that, you know, these guys are being asked to mature quicker because, you know, now they're being paid. And so they have to do things that, you know, you weren't doing before. And because they're being paid, you know, you have to handle things differently, right? I was talking with Jim Lachey at Media Days because his son Luke was there representing Iowa, and he mentioned a conversation he had with his son about paying taxes on NIL money, and that's something that you don't think about probably, right, until you have to do it. And I also think, look, some of the things kids used to get in trouble for are now legal, right? You know, obviously they could still get in trouble for legal things and stuff like that, but accepting benefits is now something that's out in the open and being talked about and whatnot. So, you know, the sport has just changed a lot, and I think the players, and the coaches and kind of everybody has changed along with it, and so we're kind of still seeing how this all is going to end up playing out if and when we ever get to the other side and kind of settle down for a while.
Pat, this week, Ryan Day spoke very highly of Brandon Ennis, you know, talking about when he's out there, you notice. When you think about this upcoming season, just let's take Akron, the first game. Who are the three receivers that runs out there with the first team on the first snap?
If I were a betting man, and this was what I was betting on, I would say it's Emeka, it's Carnell Tate, and it's Jeremiah Smith.
Me too.
But, yeah, I don't know that. You know, you could very easily have Emeka playing at one of the outside receivers and have Brandon in there. I mean, frankly, this team with kind of the tight end room that they have, and that you could come out with, you know, two tight ends as well. So I think there's a variety of options given the play. But, yeah, I mean, if we're assuming they come out with three wideouts, that would be my guess, those three I mentioned off the top. But, you know, Brandon is right there with those guys. And, you know, I know Ryan spoke publicly. Emeka spoke about him too, very, very positively. But we've heard, even going back to spring before he got hurt, that things were going really well with Brandon Ennis. And, I think he's a guy that people are going to be really excited about as the season gets going. And, this could be a very fun receiver room.
Well, Patrick, I remember one of the best brews that I ever had in my life was when you're at your own wedding, and it's such a special day. It's a happy day, and you've gotten to make picks, and you've basically gotten to have your handprints all over it. So you're throwing a big party basically for all of your, friends and family. And I had a craft beer that we loved because we got married in Raleigh, North Carolina, so it was a local brew. You guys might not know it. It was a place called Big Boss, Bad Penny Brown Ale. I was super into the brown ales. And then I had a cheap option, PBR, one of my favorite dirt cheap beers. So I had two options there. I remember both of those beers just being outstanding. How far along are you in the thought process for putting that all together?
Oh, that process hasn't even begun. Yeah, we do the thing on Friday. I leave for Big Ten Media Days on Monday. We have not even discussed when and where or any of that. I will say, since we're on the topic of the beers, I had quite a few of them after work was done each night in Indianapolis. I only paid for one the entire time I was there. So I worked that out. And then tonight I will need lemonade to recover from said beers the last 3 days.
What kind of lemonade? What brand?
I was gonna ask Tyvis which one what should I go get?
This is the thing. So I went to Trader Joe's and I got this sparkling pink lemonade there.
Oh God!
And it is to die for.
It is divine.
It really is divine. Like I almost am tempted to get back in my car and go back up there to get another bottle. It's that good.
Better listen, Pat.
All right, I'm listening. I will have to grab some of that.
All right, hey buddy, congratulations.
Yes, congrats, Pat.
Pass that along to Sarah as well. Good for you guys.
I will. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on too.
Absolutely, awesome stuff. Our friend Patrick Murphy with some beers and Buckeyes right there. It is a special day today, not just because Pat Murphy's getting married, but it's also a day that gave me a brief nightmare when I saw it. Details next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp. Presented by Safelite Bob Discount Furniture and Weber. Happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center August 1st through 4th. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2024 to purchase your tickets today.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint. With their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind or grab a carryout. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
It's time to grab deliciousness by the handful with the new Donato's Calzado. That famous Donato's golden crispy crust on the outside, folded and loaded with Donato's deliciousness inside. They cut it in two. Trust me, you're not sharing. The new Donato's Calzado. Dinner for one, just got a lot more fun. Create your perfect calzado stuffed with up to 3 toppings for just $7.99 for a limited time. Order now.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
We don't talk politics on the Fan. It's divisive, fear-stoking, and negative. That's what our social media is for. Or your crazy uncle's house, or the grocery store, or you get my point. The Fan, Ohio's politics-free destination.
Meet Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Maryhaven. More and more people are falling into problem gambling. It can happen so quickly that you don't realize it until you face a crisis. Gambling issues often connect to depression, anxiety, or other addictions. Maryhaven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. I was in my Lexus the other day. It was hot as hell, but I was so thankful for my ventilated seats. I'm not saying that's why you should buy one. It's just very nice. Right now at Jermaine Lexus, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with lease payments as low as $499 a month and 3.99% financing on select models. Get this, the RZ is 0%. I have been a Jermaine customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Jermaine Lexus, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Get Eco. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. As you know, I am a world-renowned inventor. So you keep telling me. The royalties alone on that little plastic table I invented to put in pizza boxes, more than you can imagine. And yet you come into the office here at Eco every day when you're supposed to be a silent partner. Get Eco. Because, Aaron, I think we should do a better job of telling people all the ways the word eco stands for everything we do. I'm pretty sure people can figure it out. Economical, ecological, eco-ountable, eco-accommodating. Is there a spelling requirement to be an inventor? I mean, I barely graduated, and I can spell those words better. Get Eco. When people get Eco to help with their plumbing, electrical, air conditioning, they get all that. Innovative, modern, practical solutions from highly trained plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. It's all right there in the name. It is all right there in the name. Get Eco. GetEco.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Hating Michigan is our favorite national pastime. This is the Buckeye Show.
Timmy and Tyvis, happy Thursday. Yeah, we hate those guys. 'Tis the season to hate them even more, right? With football right around the corner. Hey, by the way, buddy, American Nitro has got their Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest. It is coming back. I've talked about this a couple times already. It's presented by Lowe's. They had it last year. Back for year 2. I can't wait. Live music, cold beer, a wing smoking competition. I get to be a judge. There are pictures of me last year with sauce all over my face.
Yeah.
It was about enough for me. I think there was 18 competitors last year. So I didn't just taste each wing. I ate an entire wing.
As you
for
should.
Each competitor.
As you should.
You get the full effect. And some of these were jumbos. Let me tell you.
Oh,
like
I know.
Jumbos.
Yeah, like if you go to like Roosters.
Think about Roosters. You could do 6 or 8 and you could be full.
6?
6?
You eat 6 traditional wings from Roosters?
What is that? Are you saying that's too much?
Yes.
Give me a break.
Yeah. 2 at the most.
Give me a break.
It's a whole bird.
Stop it.
The wings, the traditional wings at Roosters, a whole bird.
Well, let me tell you, this is better. This is better because everybody out there is making the wings. So you have the best of everything. Different flavors, different styles, smoked, sauced, whatever. Over 3 tons of chicken wings. And we're raising money for Ghosts of War, providing immediate assistance to veterans in need. If you think you got what it takes, sign your team up at 971 The Fan. I want to see you out there. 971thefan.com. All the wings and smokers, they're provided for you, and you're competing for cash prizes and that coveted first place trophy. Brought to you by Claypool Electric, Equipment Share, Kenjo Outdoor, Treba Industrial Staffing, and more. So, and still talking about food here. See, I'm glad this situation didn't happen to me and you with wings. I like chili dogs, but chili dogs aren't something that I can't live without. What about you? I can't live without wings. Like if you were to tell me you could never have a chicken wing again for the rest of your life, that would be
I would tell you
devastation.
I would tell you lost your mind.
Devastation.
Yeah.
I do like chili dogs, though, and when I saw today that this was National Chili Dog Day, it kind of...
Did you get a chili dog?
No, I didn't get a chili dog.
It makes you want one?
It makes me want one the right way. It makes me want one that's fantastic, that's brilliant. I need a bounce back. You know what I mean? I need a get back chili dog.
Where would you go to get this bounce back chili dog?
We could go with your traditional Skyline.
I still have never been there.
That's ridiculous. I
don't know
what to say to that.
I need to get out more.
You're in Ohio, buddy.
I know. It's
They're
a
all
Cincinnati
over
thing.
But they're all over Columbus. They come to work like every 2 or 3
and
weeks.
every time I come out there, it's too late.
Well, come join us for lunch. Come to work.
Oh,
Make
really?
work your favorite.
Oh, really? Mr. Vacation over here.
Oh, no. Don't you call me Mr. Vacation. You're talking about going to Punta Cana.
I didn't go.
Well, you were thinking about it.
My wife wanted to go. I didn't want to go.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Who doesn't want to go to Punta Cana?
Me.
Cana? Canta. Is there a T in there?
I don't know.
Punta Cana or Canta?
Hakuna Matata?
Quiet, Simone.
See, you threw me off now. Hold on. Let me look it up.
What do you think it is? Punta Cana or Punta Canta?
Cana. C-A-N-A.
C-A-N-A.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cana.
There it is.
I'll go. Sounds
Bodie,
awesome.
where's the most fantastic place you've ever been?
Other than South Bend, Indiana?
These are the greatest. This is the greatest sight these eyes have ever seen.
I've been to some beautiful places.
Yeah, nothing.
Let's hear Bodie's first.
Nothing really too fancy, honestly. Used to go to Destin every year, but that's not really fancy.
Well,
but it was fun.
The water's pretty down there.
Yeah. Although I will say, I was listening to Morning Juice for a bit this morning, and Shark said there was a shark attack. No pun intended there.
Oh, really?
Guy lost his leg.
Oh, no.
And so sharks, I think it was down in the Panhandle, Florida area there.
Oh, no.
And I got to be honest, I love the ocean, but as I get older, just every year I take just like one big step back for how far I'll go into that water.
You just don't need it.
Yeah.
What are you doing out there?
Exactly.
Like I'm a 40-year-old man out there like,
that's the shark's home.
Splashing around in the ocean.
Kind of sand.
You never wanted to go surfing?
Deep.
No.
Hell no. No chance. Not even in the slightest.
I would want to go. If I knew it was safe, I would go surfing if I knew how to do it.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
But
go out and go to somewhere where surfing is the thing. Like go to Hawaii. I mean, you can't go
to Hawaii.
Yeah, go to Hawaii and surf there.
Well, the reason why I went to Honolulu is because I was playing for your lovely Dallas Cowboys in the preseason, and we played the Rams. So this was 2019, I think it was, and I played the Rams in Honolulu, and it was actually wonderful. It was beautiful out there. I was like, man, Hawaii is nice. It's expensive, but it was nice.
A little tidbit here. So this is something that we also were bracing for with all these changes in college football, and when maybe not a direct effect of the lawsuit, but something that was in part because of it. And you're going to have to budget now. You're going to have to figure out how much of that $20+ million pool, whatever it gets decided on. I don't know how much the line to gain is going to change on that number between now and when we start paying guys in addition to. Do you think, first of all, that NIL budgets are going to remain, and we're also going to have the payment pool?
I think that's a discussion that they're having right now, trying to figure that part out. I don't understand how you get rid of NIL. Like, that's the part that's confusing to me. Like,
I don't either, because that's it's like endorsement deals. Yeah, here's the payment.
Yeah, like this,
and then here's for making deals.
Yeah, if the radio station said, I want to give you $100,000, like, why would the kid say no? That doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying.
Well, like, think about I have a salary. And then I have another pool where I can do endorsement deals.
That's what I'm saying.
So like that. Two pools.
So I don't see how they know. Like,
yeah. Well, beside from that though, they are starting to set the limit on rosters. We talked about this a little bit and how
105.
Yeah, the 105, and it sounds like a lot, right? But with how many players college football programs usually keep around, we talked about maybe the walk-ons, the thrill of the walk-on player, the mystique, the tradition of having those kinds of guys around your program. That goes away a little bit. So they're going to bump up scholarship limits, but it's also going to be potentially a capped roster at 105. So,
so you could have
that's what it's going to look like.
You have 105 guys on scholarship.
Yeah, potentially. Well, here it says.
And right now it's 85.
Here's how 11 Warriors describe this from the Dellinger report. Football's current scholarship limit sits at 85, while teams have a 120 player limit. Okay, so under the new proposal, which would take effect in the 25-26 cycle, the team limit for football would move to 105, but the scholarship increase from 20 players will go up. So, yeah, you're getting more scholarships, but the total number of players you can have goes down. And Ryan Day has already been one to speak about this and say he's going to have to talk to his AD, Ross Bjork, a little bit more. And he's talking about attrition and injuries and saying that there's got to be something in place to be able to replace these guys. If you have guys that leave or get hurt, does that mean you bring in a certain amount of guys in the preseason and cut it back before the season starts? Maybe a practice squad like in the NFL? It sounds like that you got enough players, though, to me. That's a lot of guys. It's way more than in the NFL.
105. You get, what is it, a 90-man roster during the preseason?
And you have a 53 on game days in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's enough guys.
I mean, some situations.
I know that. But you have way more than that.
Yeah.
Way more than that.
Yeah. I mean, but you dressing them all. It ain't like in the NFL where if it's 105 guys on scholarship, 105 guys is dressed and ready
for home
to go.
Games, yeah. Right? For home games.
Yeah.
So it's something to watch. It's one of the byproducts of everything that's going on. James Franklin is still trying to achieve a level that he erupted about 6 years ago. Give you details and keep our finger on the college football pulse next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and Tebow.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
And now we're on our way with Coda, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Whether it's game day or every day, Coda moves Buckeyes fans down the line toward victory. Download the Transit app today for an easy way to plan and pay for your next trip. Visit coda.com/transit app to learn more.
It's no fun to get blindsided. That's why you need to know what's coming in Ohio Medicaid.
Championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Recent changes in Ohio Medicaid could impact you. If your information isn't up to date, you could lose your health insurance. Call the Ohio Department of Medicaid so you don't have to scramble to stay insured.
Call 800-324-8680. A public health message from CareSource.
That's what I call forward progress.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey Columbus, looking for the perfect day trip? Head to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. Dive into football history, see legendary players, and enjoy interactive exhibits. Fun for the whole family. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for tickets. The Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, where it's always football season.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
At Pella, we use the newest technology to show you exactly how new windows would look on your home.
Well, we keep it simple at our window place. We use a number 2 pencil to draw what your house will look like with our new windows. See?
Oh yeah, that definitely looks like a number 2.
Thank you, Leslie. Wait, I see what you did there.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
We buy any car. Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because selling it yourself can be, well, you know.
Okay, I'll give you half now.
And?
No, and just half.
What?
Avoid the hassle. Come to We Buy Any Car instead. Get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
Yeah, I can't do half.
I could probably bump it up to like 50%.
Just go.
Okay.
Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com. Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening, everybody. Well, starting with baseball, a 3-run blast by Javier Baez sent the Tigers to a 3-0 win over the Guardians today in Cleveland. The two teams split the 4-game series. Next up for the Guards, they begin a 3-game set against the Phillies tomorrow night in Philadelphia. As for the Reds, they were off today. They'll continue the road trip tomorrow night in Tampa Bay. That's where they begin a 3-game set against the Rays. Also in baseball today, Padres starter Dylan Cease threw a no-hitter in their 3-0 win over the Nationals. It's the second no-hitter in San Diego history. Cease struck out 9 while walking 3 batters in the game. And in women's soccer, the United States cruised to a 3-0 win over Zambia this afternoon in the group stage of the Paris Olympics. Mallory Swanson helped lead the way there with a pair of first-half goals. Next up, the USA will face Germany on Sunday afternoon. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Need heating, cooling, plumbing, or electric? Call a carpenter.
Hour 2 of the Buckeye Show. College football obviously has a lot of beautiful places for us to see. Tyvis, we were talking about the places Bodie's been back there, and you didn't get a chance to speak about your best visits. So, either non-college football or wherever. You said you've been to Hawaii, but you can't go to Punta Cana this week like you thought you might. Hang out with Patrick Omame and the other guys.
You got to have some sacrifices in your life, with great. You got to have great sacrifice, and the wife, she understands that, and although she's sad, she gets it. But
you've told me you never have an interest to go to Europe, though.
No,
you don't want to travel that far.
I don't want to travel anywhere.
Well,
I want to go. I want to travel up 71 to Cleveland. That's where I do it like every other day.
That's a Midwesterner right there. Cleveland. They should have a line like that in Major League.
So I travel right up to 71. 71 North, 71 South.
The place to be. So where's your favorite spot you ever checked out?
My favorite place I've ever checked out was probably, I really did enjoy my time in Hawaii because that was the first time that I was there for a long period of time. We was there for like a whole week, and I actually got to explore things and stuff. But fun fact about me, I've never went on vacation without work. Like I have something work related. I've never done that in my life. It's always an agenda. Like I'm always there because of something I need to do.
Really? Even when you were in your playing career and you hadn't gotten into the media yet?
I never took vacation when I played. I was Tim.
Never in the off season?
Never. You know what I did? Trained.
Really?
Yeah. You got to be like
4 or 5 days to unwind.
You undrafted guys clawing and fighting to make it. You better be on. You got to be on it.
I get it. I agree. I understand that. Bodie, didn't that surprise you that there's not 4 or 5 days in the year where you can get away?
Yeah, you take a week after the season, maybe, or
no. I went right to working out after the season.
No days off.
But see, I was wired different though.
Just like Bill Belichick.
That's why I be trying to tell people like the stuff that I did and the fact that I didn't make it, like it's a lot of dedication and it's a lot of just God-given talent that you got to have to really be successful in football. So that's why when I be seeing people just slacking, I be like, okay, do your thing.
Bill Belichick, he's doing his thing right now, right?
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, sure, their personalities line
just
up.
A number,
baby. Oh no, the insiders out there, she's a really nice personality. They connect on deep issues. Yeah,
they say 76 is the new 36. So
my God,
that's a big gap.
Have some respect
for yourself.
Come on.
Hey, what'd Kanye say?
I ain't saying
the bomb at a beauty salon.
I ain't saying she that's all he's saying.
Yep.
What? Are we talking here? Yeah. All right.
Dion got a song. It's called "Must Be the Money."
All right, Boatman. We're talking about this guy and thinking back to that press conference after they lost to Ohio State in 2018, and our dude was just beside himself.
We're done being great,
and he meant that in a way of he thought that we're good.
We're just gonna be good.
Yeah, we're good. I thought they were only good at that point, but he thought that they were great.
Yeah,
and he thought that they needed to go from great to elite. So that was his thing. We're done being great. We've got to make the move to beat Ohio State and win championships. And they still ain't been able to do that.
They have not. And he had this to say at Big Ten Media Days this week. Quote, "You're talking about a program," his own program. I almost dropped a program.
Program. Right.
I think in the Midwest it's program. You're talking about a program that you can win 10 or 11 games and people are not happy or satisfied. We totally get that and embrace it. Our players understand that when we recruit them. Our staff understands that when we hire them. And as the head coach, I embrace all of those things. I don't think there's any question that Penn State will benefit as much as anybody with this new 12-team playoff, but still, if you're a Nittany Lion fan, I think even then, after the first, 2-3 years, you make it 1, 2, even all 3 years, you got to eventually, get past the first round, which, we haven't had it yet, so maybe I shouldn't say eventually they have to. But the making the 12-team playoff will quickly become old if you don't start going deep into it.
I mean, we see it in the NFL and all sports. If you get to the first round of the playoffs, okay, yeah, that's fun. But people only is going to buy that for a couple of years. It's like, all right, he's not the guy clearly to take us to the next level. And then that's when people are going to get tired of going just to the playoffs. They want more, and they want advancement. They want championships. If you're good enough to make the 12-team playoff, then that means you're good enough to win a championship. And if James Franklin don't even come close or don't sniff it, they're going to be like, all right, he was good. He's a good foundation piece. He's a guy that can get the program built up, but we got to hire a guy that can take us all the way.
That's already been done. Like everything that you just said, he's got that done. He's done it. Bodeman, you know this. This is actual. This is factual. I looked this up once again. I thought it might be the number, but we play them 10 times. They might win 9.
But not this game.
Not this game.
Not on that night in 2016.
That's it. Just 1-9. He is 1-9.
Didn't they
against
block
Ohio
a field
State.
goal to win the one game?
You don't remember?
I wasn't there.
I know, but you don't remember that game?
That was
crazy. Yeah, that was a doozy of a game, and they've had a lot of close ones too.
Oh, they should have won.
Just figured out ways to
in 2017 and probably 2018. They blew double-digit leads in the fourth quarter of both of those games. I'm pretty sure.
They shouldn't have done anything.
You're up double digits in the fourth quarter. You should win the game. I don't care who you are.
I just love that play that they called. What was it?
Oh, yeah.
Was it the 2018 game that sparked that press conference when he had the 4th and 5, and he just handed the ball to Miles Sanders, and Chase Young or somebody just gobbled him up way in the backfield, and you're like, that's the play? That's your 4th down play?
I'm pretty sure that came after McSorley was kind of killing Ohio State that game, too. It was like, let's get the ball out of his hands, because whenever you can take the ball out of your best player's hands, if I
Can't
remember
stop that
correctly.
guy. Yeah, he's throwing it, he's running it.
Yeah.
But let's just hand the ball on a run right up the middle on a 4th and fairly long. But I don't know. I'm not optimistic about James Franklin winning a national championship at Penn State, winning a Big Ten now that it's expanded to 18 teams and how tough it's going to be. Yeah, they got to make this playoff, and they got to make it pretty consistently.
I mean, listen, whether people like Drew Aller or not, I'm not a fan of him. I don't think he's that good.
Me neither.
But
he's capped. I mean,
wow.
Not cap, no cap type of thing. That's not even that meaning either. What did you think I meant by that? What was your meaning?
You said that he reached his peak. This is as best he's going to ever be.
Yes,
yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
All right. We're on the same wavelength there.
I don't think he can win the game. Because didn't he, for a while, wasn't throwing the ball deep or something? Like he didn't have a pass.
I mean, they haven't exactly had.
That's true, I think.
Yeah, he
didn't have a very big, deep ball game.
And when's the last time that they really had? I mean, McSorley was a nice player, but come on, I know this was kind of. Actually, Franklin would have coached Hackenberg, right, for a year or two, maybe, give or take.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought he might have for just a year or two, but nonetheless, he didn't really pan out. McSorley was a nice college quarterback, but he wasn't gonna win you a national championship or anything. A lot of the quarterbacks, who was the kid that was just there from Ohio last few years? Sean Clifford, right? He was kind of another McSorley type where it's like, hey, you're going to win 10 games with him, but you're probably not going to beat the Ohio State level.
So until they get that quarterback, that big name quarterback,
And Aller was a huge prospect coming out, but he struggled last year.
I don't see it. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't. And it's sad because I think we go to Penn State like week 2, and I got to talk about this kid. I got to gas this kid up. And the truth is, I really don't see it. I don't.
All right, let's go on to another one right here, Bodie.
You guys thought I was a psychopath in the past? You have no idea.
All right, let's hit the Rule 8 here. This is another one of our favorite coaches on this segment.
This is kind of what you get when you hired me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you kind of get. Like,
he had this to say.
It would never not be funny to me.
This is what you get. He had this to say at Big Ten Media Days this week. In the Big Ten, we have to go to someone else's stadium in our league 5 times and duke it out. But I think we'll have a lot of access to the college football playoff. I think 4 teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football in my mind. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know if you can be the NFL of college football, but nevertheless, that's not to diminish any other league. The SEC is amazing. These other leagues are great, but the challenge in the Big Ten is going to be really difficult. I get where he's coming from. All these coaches are going to pump up their conference, especially when you're in Nebraska and you go 7-5. You could be like, hey, we lost to 5 good teams. But the fact that we should just start being like, yeah, the Big Ten should absolutely, no question, get 4 teams in is ridiculous. Nebraska is probably not a team that's going to have to worry about the playoff necessarily anytime soon. I'll do respect to our boy, Matt Rule there.
Look, I don't know. Sorry, go ahead, Tyvis.
What he said is what I was hoping Tony Petitti would say. I wanted Tony Petitti to come out and be like, because you know how the SEC came out at 9-3, we should still get in. We should have all these schools in.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping Tony Petitti would say something like what Matt Rule just said. It's sad that Matt Rule will bang his chest and beat on his chest for the Big Ten more than Tony Petitti would.
What does that mean, though? Like, guarantee us 4 spots? What the hell kind of playoff is that?
Yeah, it's not a playoff. It's an invitational at that point.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
You can't
tell me. Do your own thing if that's what you want to do.
If Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon all go 11-1 this year, if that's even possible, but whatever, and those 3 teams all deserve to get in, but then the 4th best team in the Big Ten is 8-4 or whatever, like they shouldn't be in. Like you shouldn't be automatic qualifier like that.
And look, we'll go this year and the dice will roll, and they very well could because of how dominant the SEC and the Big Ten are above the rest of college football. You might not need to mandate, just earn your way in. I have a feeling that a lot of those teams are just going to earn their way in, having 8 of the best 12.
We could easily see those two conferences put 3 and 4 in each year. Even 4 is probably like the max, I would guess.
Right,
I mean,
but they could.
You might get 5, but
you get 5. That's ridiculous. I don't see it.
I think a lot would have to fall in a certain way. Yeah,
there's no way. There's no way. 5 from one conference.
Oh, there's a way.
The SEC will find a way, I'm sure, to try to make it happen if they can.
I just love the back to the best conference in the league. In the country
and
thing.
Also,
back
the Big Ten is not the best conference in college football. It's just not.
Let's go back to that for a quick second. No. Tyvis, wait. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Go.
No.
Yes.
When you say that, I don't know what. Look, the 2 are there above all else. We can agree to that. Definitely. But I don't know what metric you're looking at. It's like that line from Draft Day where I forget the actor who plays the head coach. Not Kevin Costner. He's the GM. But you know who I'm talking about, the great comedian who plays the head coach. He's the coach from the Cowboys when they bring him over there. And they're like, yeah, you know what the difference is? They win. That's what he says. He holds his ring up, his Super Bowl ring there. That's the difference.
Dennis
the SEC's Dennis Leary. Thank you. He's great. One of my faves. Though I didn't know his name. You can't tell me that. The SEC's winning all the titles. So they're better.
Who won? They're
winning all the titles.
It's not about what you've done. It's about what you've done lately.
They've done that basically for the last 20 years.
Who got the last championship? What conference?
The Big Ten does with Michigan. Yeah. They had 2 of the last 10. 2 of the last 10.
Like 6.
Yeah. Do they have 8 of the last 10 then, or did FSU
before
get
that
1?
It was Georgia. Bama,
Clemson
LSU,
got a couple.
Clemson, Bama.
What y'all talking about is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the most recent one.
Yeah, Michigan. That's even more fun to be.
Yeah, that's not what I want. That is not what I want.
I'd rather be the SEC.
As a Big Ten employee, it's great to say.
All right, Tyvis is going to give us a very firm look at how this Ohio State defensive backfield is going to be in 2024. Tyvis getting technical. Next, it's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's Kubota Orange Days, your golden opportunity to score a deal that'll make your neighbors green with envy. Shop the year's best selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. And get the year's best deals, like 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off L3302 tractors.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint. With their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind or grab a carryout. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
When you need urgent care and you need it fast, where you go makes all the difference. When you choose advanced urgent care from the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, you're choosing an advanced level of urgent care led by Ohio State emergency physicians. We offer walk-in treatment for more serious illnesses and injuries such as broken bones, abdominal pain, and pneumonia, all with shorter wait times and less cost than an emergency department. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
And now we're on our way with Coda, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Whether it's game day or every day, Coda moves Buckeyes fans down the line toward victory. Download the Transit app today for an easy way to plan and pay for your next trip. Visit coda.com/transit app to learn more.
Bishop and Friends.
I yelled at my family like Buford T. Justice yelled at his kid in Smokey and the Bandit. I basically just yelled at them and cussed at them the entire way home. That's basically how it works.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
During our 10 for 10 sale, participating items like Lay's Stacks, Rice-A-Roni, and Sparkling Ice Sparkling Water are $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Not a bad finish to your Thursday with temperatures around 80 degrees, fair skies and light winds. Overnight, mainly clear and cool, comfortable down to the upper 50s. And a pleasant Friday on the way, blue skies, light winds, and highs in the mid-80s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz.
Scarlet and Gray 24/7, or however long the show is tonight. You're listening to the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Timmy and Tyvis here with all you fine Buckeye fans. God, I love the guy so much. I'm going to tell you about him for a second time in this show. My friends at Tri-State Men's Health. I told you about how they can treat erectile dysfunction. Well, there's another thing that they are experts in, and that is treating low testosterone. I have seen them for this. Low T can cause a lot of problems. Low sex drive. You cannot have that. Bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. I was noticing that lack of energy. I was, hitting the couch after the Buckeye show is done, 9:30 or so, and I'm just, it's time for bed now, right? So when I started seeing them about the ACE shots and the low T therapy, instantly, you just feel a little bit more pep in your step. You can feel that. I'm telling you, it can be a life-changing type of thing. They're experts in this and other men's health, sexual conditions. They've successfully treated many men for low T, and they have seen what a difference. And these guys that have had this treatment can feel the difference that it makes for them. So if you're like a lot of men, they can help you, and you could start feeling better very quickly. TriStateMen'sHealth.com is the website. 800-900-9654 is the number. There's no need to wait. They've got lots of great locations, 2 right here in Central Ohio and the one in Hilliard right off of 270 that I check out. Tell them Timmy Hall sent you. Tri-State Men's Health. So, Tyvis.
Well said.
I want to hear you, because we never really get to do this. I want you to just talk football to me and all our fine friends and analyze what this defensive backfield is going to look like when you take a look at your players. Imagine that you're a coach on this team and you're going to tell somebody that doesn't know a whole lot about the schematic of it, whose responsibility is what, who's good at what, and how this is going to break down.
Okay. Well, so when you look at this, obviously we'll start with the outside corner position. Now, the thing about the outside corners, you got 2 guys that I think are really good. You got 2, and then you got a nickel, and you got a backup corner. So we'll start with the 2 starters in IGB, Davison Igbinosun, and Denzel Burke. Obviously, Denzel Burke is a guy that is highly thought of, one of the best corners in the Big Ten. What I like about Denzel is Denzel has finally found where he's comfortable at. When he was a freshman, he was a big press guy. He pressed everything, and he had a ton of success. The year after that, he got beat at the line. I used to tell you, he's getting beat off the line, and it's just like he's not comfortable there.
And he was getting beat on the point of attack, too.
And he did not play the ball. Point. He did not play the ball well at all. 2 biggest things. You got beat off the line and you didn't play the ball well, resulted to the season
just big plays being made on him over and over again.
Which was due to, if you talk to him about it, he was hurt that year, so whatever. We'll call it a wash. Last year, what I liked is he started to play off. And I've never been a big fan of playing off, but I always admire guys that can play off because obviously it takes away getting beat off the line, but you can process things. You can see quick game from a quarterback because your first read should be what the quarterback's steps is. If he does a 3-step drop, it's quick game. That means slow your feet down, be ready to jump a slant, jump a hitch, something like that. And he did a really good job of doing that. He was very disruptive, and he played the ball really well last year. You bump over to the other side, IGB is a guy that's press man. He's very physical.
Bigger guy.
Do you
like the big, tall corners?
Everybody does because it takes away the jump ball. The only thing about when you're a big corner is when you got to go against the smaller, shifty receivers. That is always the challenge.
That's when you want to have maybe somebody like Jordan Hancock.
Correct. You always want those guys to go to the slot, but offensive coordinators purposely put them on the outside because they know that you're uncomfortable. If you can't move your feet and you can't move your hips that good, the smaller, shiftier guy will give you problems. But IGB is so physical at the point of contact. When he in his press, he's always on top of the routes, and he plays the ball disruptive. It's a thing about, when you're going to break a pass up, you have to be kind of violent in there. Like, it's got to be a physical, rake it out type thing. Because if you just try to play the ball with your hand and you miss.
Hey,
If you just swat at the ball, some of these receivers' hands and their arms are so strong. Like a guy like Mike Thomas, you go in there, you just lazily put it out there. Mike will still catch the ball. So you got to go in there with some force, rake the hands apart to get it out. And IGB does a great job of doing that. Only concern with IGB is that he's a little grabby at times. So he's got to keep his hands clean and not grab, because they're going to be looking to call pass interference or holding calls on him. So if he cleans that up, I think he's as good as a corner as anybody.
Do you pause for a second? Because you talking about the fighting for the football, I think is interesting to hit on. I think a lot of people would think that haven't played football, the trenches are unlike anything else as far as where the physicality of the game is.
Yes.
What is your take, though, having not been an offensive line, though, but you've been teammates, I'm sure you've seen all facets of the game up close. You've heard that energy, felt that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure even as a quarterback, you're going to rush the passer every now and then and catch a block from a right tackle or left tackle or whoever.
Yeah.
But those battles, when you are going up against a physical wide receiver, and you talking about how physical you got to rake in and get that ball, describe what level you got to get to do that successfully.
So when the most physical that a wide receiver will get with you is probably when they're blocking. That's when they usually can show their physicality.
Where it's just on.
Yeah. What they do is they run up to you and they kind of stalk block you, meaning that they're going to run up and you'll find out pretty soon that it's a run, because they'll stop 5 yards in front of you and just kind of wait for you to come and attack them. And you can do two things. You can run straight down the middle, use your hands to try to shock and shed them and throw them to the side, or you can foot fake them and try to get around. Now, if you try to foot fake them and they get a touch of you, they're taught to get on the inside of your breastplates, and they're going to hold the heck out of you. And I'm telling you right now, it's the most annoying thing in the world. But it's not going to get called because the referee sees that they have their hands inside, so it's not looking like holding.
All right, for time constraints, give me a good breakdown in the minute we have left in the segment on what Caleb Downs and Lathan Ransom have to do on the back end as the safeties.
So Caleb Downs has to do a great job of playing in the box. He's going to be more of a box safety, but they're going to make him play some of the post as well. Because if you're going to be a good safety in this league, you got to be able to do both. You can't. They will game plan off of the fact that, all right, anywhere that Caleb is, he's the down safety. So that's never look at him. Always look at Lathan, because he's always going to the post. At a point in time, they got to shift responsibilities to where where Lathan has to play the box and Caleb has to play the post. But I think that communication is key. But for Caleb Downs, he has to make sure that everybody's on the same page, and he has to be physical when it comes to those outside zone runs. If you're going to have JT and Jack Sawyer just all out rush the passer, sometimes they might give up the leverage to where Caleb Downs has to do a really good job of getting that ball down. Lathan has to do a great job of playing the post, meaning that any post routes, any deep routes, he has to be the eraser. If the ball breaks through the linebackers in the D-line, he has to do a great job of getting it down. Obviously, when Lathan is healthy, he makes a ton of plays in the post. He does a great job high pointing the ball and going to get it. There's going to be a lot of that because this is a passing league.
Yeah, and we know Caleb can make plays, both hawking the ball and coming up and tackling and leading a team like Alabama in tackles as a true freshman. Pretty impressive. That's a good breakdown. Thank you so much for that, Tyvis.
Well, thank you.
A guy who likes Tyvis just slightly less than someone like Jalen Brunson, and a guy who knows ball, can get us excited for Buckeye hoop season and some TBT. Joey Lane, our old pal, joins us next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
If you don't like listening to Morning Juice, Bobby Carpenter's man nipples will punch you in the face. For real.
You want to fight, do you? Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me: pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet Store, America's arch supports experts.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee, arthritic pain like I was having in my knee, maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gehanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we'll talk technology with Titleist's Rod Cook. Check in at this week's tour stop in Minneapolis and visit with SI's Gary Van Sickle.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick, presented by X-Golf. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Ohio Basement Authority. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing Optimized IT, the managed services division of Modern Office Methods. With our cutting-edge managed IT services, we ensure your business always stays ahead of the curve, keeping you one step ahead of your competition. We bring proven management strategies to the table to support your current IT team, as well as provide insight on how to maximize efficiency, helping you achieve your goals faster. Concerned about security? Our backup solutions help guarantee your data is protected around the clock, giving you peace of mind. Start at OptimizedIT.net for your free IT assessment. Stay ahead, stay secure, and stay optimized.
Hey Columbus, looking for the perfect day trip? Head to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. Dive into football history, see legendary players, and enjoy interactive exhibits. Fun for the whole family. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for tickets. The Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, where it's always football season.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Just counting down the days to March Madness. Back to the Buckeye Show.
Timmy and Tyvis, happy Thursday, best day of the week. Oh, what a show. Great show rolls on. Another old friend of the program. He's co-hosted many times before. Our pal from the Towel Gang, Drive the Lane. He's just burgeoning as a media guy, as a play-by-play broadcaster, color commentator for basketball out there. Joey Lane. Joey, Smoke, what's up, buddy?
What's going on? How are we doing, guys?
We're fantastic. I've been seeing you all over the place. Good for you. You've been having a good time out there.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a fun summer. Timmy, lots of golf and then getting to do some hoops broadcast, which is that's the dream. So it's been fun, taking steps in the right direction, just trying to be like my man Tyvis Powell,
Whoa. First of all, you're doing way better than me. I'm not on TNT or FS2. I'm not doing those type of things yet, so I'm behind you and I'm trying to catch up. But seeing that you are doing this, first of all, what do you think of Carmen's crew? Who are sticking out to you the most?
I think the team that they put together on the surface, you were a little nervous because most people probably didn't recognize the guards that were playing. But, man, there's not much to dislike once you see those guys in action, they play. I mean, it's straight from the Thad Matta DNA. They play incredible basketball. They are so together and so good on defense. Hardfire couldn't get anything going in the last game, and it's a Buckeye dream to watch Caleb Wesson play with Jarrett Sullinger. I mean, that is so unbelievably fun. It's enough that we get Andre and Caleb Wesson playing together again. Mm-hmm. But we've seen that before. But now you see Jarrett Sullinger and Caleb Wesson, two of the most talented big men in recent memory, skill-wise. I mean, as skilled as any big men that we've had in the last, 20 years plus. And they get to play together and high-low and make threes and get every single rebound. I mean, between Caleb Wesson and Jarrett Sullinger, you are just not getting an offensive rebound. It's very fun. It's very fun to watch. Obviously, I have 4 teammates on the team, so it's even more fun to watch them for that reason. But, I mean, there's 8 teams left. At this point, it's anybody's game. They're as good as any team left in the whole thing.
Joey Lane doing some TBT where Carmen's crew just got another win, and that's awesome. He's on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I want to ask you just a broadcasting question, okay? Because we've followed you. You've been here with us. We've known that this is something you've wanted to do. You've gotten to do some BTN games for the Buckeyes, and that's been cool to see. It's one thing about wanting to do it and having that idea and prep for it. What has it been like now living it? And what to you are your favorite parts of being in the game and being a color commentator?
Yeah, it's so funny because you think about it and you prepare and you over-prepare in Tyvis. I'm sure you totally understand. I mean, you put together all these notes for what you're going to say, and then you use 6% of the notes. So you know the guy's mom's maiden name, and you know his brother's favorite food and all this stuff, and you go into the game and it's like, oh, he didn't even play a minute. I didn't even get to talk about him. So it's very interesting that you prepare, and it's great. It's like a test, right? If you're over prepared for a test, you're probably going to do really well. Mm-hmm. But being able to have the expectations going in for how to prepare and what to do has been really, really interesting and fun. It doesn't feel like a job at all because it's so interesting and exciting. And the best part about it is, to answer your second question, is that it feels like you're back in the trenches, that you're watching film and preparing for a game, and then you're getting good luck texts and it's game day, and then the game happens, and after the game you have a ton of adrenaline and it's hard to go to sleep, and you're getting texts from friends and family that watched, and it feels like I'm back playing. I know for the BTN game, plural BTN games that I had this past year, it was so fun to be done and walk around the arena and everyone congratulating me and being excited for me. It felt like I was back playing again. That's the type of rush and adrenaline rush that I was getting. So it's been such a blast, and hopefully get to do some more.
Joey, when you look at this TBT tournament, who do you think is the biggest threat to Carmen's crew?
Yeah, so they played Takeover BC in the next game, which truthfully I didn't have any of their games, and I wasn't on site with them, so I didn't get to watch them play at all. So I can't. I know they're not supposed to be where they are right now, so take that for whatever it's worth. I know Carmen's crew will be favored in that game. The next game, whether they play Kentucky or Louisville, their alumni teams, that'll be their biggest test, I think, just looking at the whole bracket. The other side of the bracket has some Cinderellas and some really solid alumni teams, but I watched the Kentucky alumni team especially. They are, they've got 5 NBA guys on the team, including probably the best player in the whole thing, Eric Bledsoe. On the Louisville team, they have Montrezl Harrell, who is literally 1 year removed for playing 25 minutes in the playoffs, like as legit of a roster as you can have. So if a Carmen's crew, they're not looking past the next game, but that Final Four game to earn the right to play for $1 million is going to be appointment television on Fox. It's going to be awesome.
Well, Joey, tell us a little bit about this Buckeye basketball team that Jake Diebler and his new staff have assembled. 24-25 obviously is going to be a really huge year because fans desperately need to see and feel this team back in the tournament. And it's going to be the first full year for Diebler, so a lot of expectations, but it starts in the backcourt, right? But what do you like about these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like every team in the country, it starts in the backcourt, but especially with Ohio State just because they're incredibly experienced in the backcourt, at least starting-wise, right, with Bruce Thornton and Michi Johnson, Michi coming back. I was fortunate to get to watch them practice a few times this summer, and then also scrimmage the former guys during vet week about like a month ago now. At this point, they're awesome. They're awesome. They play well together. Michi can handle the ball. Bruce plays off it. Bruce plays off the ball or with the ball, and Michi plays off the ball. That's what you'll primarily see because it's definitely Bruce's team. But those two guys are studs. As good of a backcourt as you'll find in the Big Ten and probably close to the country. I do think Diebler is going to lean on Bruce a lot just because it's a brand new team. And you're going to have to be patient with this team because some of the guys aren't, summer basketball is so interesting because guys are transferring in, and it's not that they're ineligible, but they have to wait for the credits to transfer. And then some guys are dinged up and don't get to play as much. And, guys are going and this year are going and playing in, the Kingdom Summer League with some guys, but not other guys. And so it's going to take some time for them to all gel and mesh because truthfully, in the few practices that I saw, it looked like a team that has never played together, which literally only a handful of those guys have been on the court for meaningful minutes together. So the guards are really exciting. Aaron Bradshaw is awesome. Freak athlete. So fun to watch. Hopefully can prove that he can step out and knock down a three. All the other transfers are great. Micah Parrish was awesome in the scrimmage against the Vets, scored the first 7 points. I think of the game, got D'Angelo Russell's approval during that first stint. I could go on and on about all the guys, but, Bruce Thornton, he is lined up to be one of the best guards, players in Ohio State history. He's going to play as many games as anybody if he finishes his 4 years. He's going to be up in the top 10 of all-time leading scorer. He's got a chance to be one of the best Buckeyes in recent memory, and it starts with this year. It's really, really exciting.
Man.
Well,
I like it.
All of that is.
You got to get that 4th year out of him, like you said, right, Tyvis?
Right.
All that is great, Joey, but I want you to know this is my last statement to you. Your best friend broke the NBA by taking that deal that he took. I just want you to know that
He broke my heart too. I was supposed to get some of that,
Where did I go wrong?
Yeah, right. No, that's pretty cool, Tyvis. I know you know that.
No, yeah, he's a team guy. Yeah, he's a team guy. He wants to keep the team together. He wants to play with his boys, and he wants to build a championship roster. And the money will come. I'm sure in New York he'll get $100 million in endorsements this season, which is just insane. So he'll get it on the back end. But, big time Knicks fan. Cavs tried to make some moves to keep up, which is good for them, and we'll see what happens. I know you saw Jalen throw out the first pitch and hang out with Aaron Judge last night too. So they're no guardians. Got the signed cleats too.
That's no first pitch at a Guardians game. Do you hear what he said there?
No. It's the Guardians are rolling right now.
Oh man,
well, not tonight, but
Joey, where are you tonight? I feel like catch me if you can. Where are you going, Joey? Where are you?
Right now I'm in the suburbs of Chicago. I have one of my closest family friends that gets married this weekend, so my mom is having a bunch of people over for the pre-wedding festivities. I'm in beautiful Deerfield, Illinois, and enjoying the weather and a nice glass of wine and hanging out with the family.
Oh, man. Sounds lovely. Sounds like a lovely weekend. Say hi to Mama Lane and say hi to Scott, too.
I will. Absolutely.
Tyvis, did you have something there?
Get some Portillo's.
Oh.
Done. Consider it done.
Oh, man. I've been watching The Bear on Hulu with the wife, and I want Italian beef every night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The Bear... Shout out to Manny's. My cousin's deli is also in the Bear. If you catch it in some B-roll, that's another Chicago staple that you have to. Next time you guys are here, you have to go get it.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Well, Joey, we always love catching up with you. Don't ever be a stranger around here.
Of course. You guys are the best. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Let us know when you're in town.
Absolutely.
All right. Good stuff. There he goes, Joey Lane. There, we made up for him not seeing us when he was here for Vet Week. We didn't even have time to talk about it right there. Good to hear from Joey on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Other than the Buckeyes themselves, there's something you can't miss coming up on August 31st. The very best with the Bucks on the socials. The hashtags are next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town-properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live. Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safelite, Bob Discount Furniture, and Weber. Happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center August 1st through 4th. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2024 to purchase your tickets today.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the Fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $229 a month. Now we're really dealing with our best value guarantee and 72-hour exchange policy. You can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. We're dealing
with approved credit. 2024 Sentra SR FWD 24-month lease with $3,000 due at signing and $731.24.
The summer sell-down is on at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Save thousands with bonus cash on select inventory. Plus, get another $2,500 off any new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram with your trade. One Performance, 2 locations, Georgesville and Delaware.
Trade value based on KBB, comparable 2010 model or newer, and price of $5K.
Boss on your back? Break away from the office and head on over to Delaware Golf Club. Grab a group, play 18, and afterwards unwind with a drink by the Fire Pit Bar and Patio. Online booking makes it easy to secure your tee time. So come check out Central Ohio's home for premier golf at Delaware Golf Club.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com today to get started.
Timmy and Tyvis, happy Thursday to all you fine Buckeye fans. Look at that. Tyvis has me juiced. has me standing here for this final segment.
Just look at.
I feel like you can really do that air
Don't you
guitar.
just feel the calories just burning off of your body?
No.
Bodie,
No, I don't.
Don't you feel the calories, Bodie, just running out of your body?
I kind of do. I'm honestly getting pretty hungry, so.
See that?
I tell you what. Sorry, I was off mic there. I tell you what, just working this shift. It's why we are so hungry, because we're working through normal American dinner time hours. And when we get done here, it is straight to food. I mean, straight to food. 15 minutes after the show is done, I'll be stuffing food into my mouth.
What are you having?
Tonight's a mystery. Tell you what. Tonight's a mystery because I'm thinking about tomorrow.
Korean beef.
I don't know. I hope she's not doing too much there because tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow is my wife's birthday. So I should have done this off the top, but I'm dedicating this show to my lovely wife, Sarah, the nurse, who turns 40 tomorrow.
Your husband of the year.
Well, no, she's the wife of the year because she works incredibly hard. She's a hospice nurse. That's tough work.
Yeah, it is.
It's always tough weeks for her. So she enjoys some time off and she enjoys to have a really good, comfortable, relaxing weekend. We're all coming off of this nasty sickness. So hopefully things settle down a little bit and we have a good time.
I see a lot of lemonade in her future.
Oh, yeah. A lot of high noons is what she enjoys.
Oh, her and my wife can share.
Yeah, so I probably got to stop by the store and make sure that we got some high noons for all the fun we're going to be having and the family coming over tomorrow for the dinner. So, Archie Griffin, when I look at a tweet or a post here, I think this is awesome. We saw this from the Ohio State University marching bands, just Tibittle, at TBDBITL. That's the Twitter handle. Archie Griffin, the only two-time Heisman Trophy winner in history, will dot the I in Script, Ohio.
Really?
On August 31st, when the Buckeyes play Akron. So if you already got tickets to that game, or if you were looking for a little bit extra buzz, I mean, football's back, so football's back. And then you get to see Archie, number 45, dot the I. It's one of the great honors that they dole out. They don't let that happen often. That is a huge deal. Lifetime achievement deal. He's getting the statue at the Rose Bowl. He's getting the dot the I. I don't know. He might become the governor next.
Must be nice.
I don't know what next is next for Archie.
Still waiting on my little invitation to dot the I. You know, I know it's coming soon.
Do you think that's something you could ever get?
No.
If you have
no,
I think
not a chance.
I think you're gonna have to go and have.
I gotta go win
a brilliant
No, I would have
legendary media career in your second stage.
I would have to win the Nobel Peace Prize or something like that to be able to dot the I. Which, did I tell you that I don't like? I want to be like a Nate Burleson, more like a Michael Strahan in media.
You do?
Yeah.
No, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I want to be more like
your ultimate goal.
Yeah.
More of a so you want to be on
I want to be
an everything show.
Yeah, I want to be well-rounded.
News, talk, sports, lifestyle.
Sports is sports is my strong suit.
Yeah. Well, I know what you mean. I think you and I we like to just have fun.
Oh,
we like to talk about other things than just sports from time to time. We know we're doing the Buckeyes, and the Buckeyes is our main vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we do. We know what show we're on, but I get what you're saying.
No politics, though.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't really care about those parts. That part.
I wonder about that, though, because I'm sure Nate Burleson has to talk politics,
I'm sure
right?
he does.
On the show that he's on.
Not on this radio station.
I'm sure he does, but like that part, that's the work part right there.
Make work your favorite. Work's your new favorite. Well, listen, this the invitation, I'm reading in the bottom of this article here. I don't know if this is going to tell me exactly how many have dotted the I, but it tells me that it's to be an honorary I dotter. It's only been extended to a select few individuals over the history of Script, Ohio. Previous honorary I dotters have included comedian Bob Hope in 1978, Woody Hayes, 1983, golfer Jack Nicklaus in 2006. It wasn't until 2006 when Jack got to do it. He won his last Masters in 86. And had already been the greatest golfer to ever pick up the sticks for a long time.
I got a long time before I dot the I.
Senator John and Annie Glenn in 2009. And marching band director emeritus John R. Woods in 2011. Recently, Earl Bruce died of the eye in 2016. Yeah. And 100-year-old Anthony Violi died of the eye in 2018. Wow.
I guess I'm not cool enough. That's all.
That's big stuff. I mean, John freaking Glenn is out there doing it. Jack Nicklaus.
Did you know that Dylan Gabriel almost was a Buckeye?
Tell me.
Pat Murphy.
With the transfer?
Yeah, Pat Murphy tweeted out about 17 minutes ago. He said,
how close?
He said that it was a good conversation, and he said, I think with anything throughout that process, it's just gaining information on one another, but that I think the recruiting process is what it is, and I think everyone that was a quarterback in the portal was able to have conversations with different schools. Ohio State was one of 3 schools that reached out to Dylan Gabriel, but he said he just could not pass up on Oregon.
Couldn't pass it up. Didn't sound like you were rushing that at all when you were reading it.
Well, I knew we were down to 25 seconds, so.
I know. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Yep. Goes fast. You know,
remember yesterday you just kept yapping right to the end of the show?
No, I didn't yap. I was just counting.
Bust right through the heart out.
I was just counting down.
All right. Have a good weekend.
You as well.
Yeah, I will. Bodeman, good to see you. Everybody will be back. I'll be off, but the show will be back tomorrow at 6. Do not miss it. Coming up next, little thing called You'll See on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Hey Buckeye fans, the best new resort in the country is right here in the state of Ohio. Introducing the Grand Resort in Warren, Ohio. Whether it's family fun, an adult getaway, a conference or event, there's no place like it. It's a year-round destination with the best golf, med spa, dining, salon and spa, pools, lounges, and activities. The Grand Resort will be the best staycation you've ever had. Go to the website, thegrandresort.com, or call 330-856-1900. The Grand Resort in Warren, Ohio. We're waiting for you.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Did the pandemic eliminate quality customer service? Well, many places it did, but not here at Heartland Bank. Imagine getting top quality service and good advice as well to help you down life's road. It's community banking, and it's alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry.
As you know, I am a world-renowned inventor.
So you keep telling me.
The royalties alone on that little plastic table I invented to put in pizza boxes, more than you can imagine.
And yet you come into the office here at Eco every day when you're supposed to be a silent partner.
Get Eco.
Because, Aaron, I think we should do a better job of telling people all the ways the word eco stands for everything we do.
I'm pretty sure people can figure it out.
Economical. Ecological, eco-countable, eco-accommodating.
Is there a spelling requirement to be an inventor? I mean, I barely graduated, and I can spell those words better.
Get Eco.
When people get Eco to help with their plumbing, electrical, air conditioning, they get all that. Innovative, modern, practical solutions from highly trained plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
It's all right there in the name.
It is all right there in the name.
Get Eco.
GetEco.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Kevin Winter. Only 8 games on the Major League Baseball scoreboard on Thursday.
this afternoon in Washington, D.C. after an hour and 16-minute rain delay, which, by the way, came with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. You figured that one out. Dylan Cease of the San Diego Padres offered his first career no-hitter. The second no-hitter in Padre history and the second no-hitter in the Bigs this season. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts on a career-high 114 pitches. Dylan Cease gets the no-no. Padres blank the Nationals 3-0. Tonight, in Citi Field in Queens, the Braves with a 1-0 lead over the New York Mets. Atlanta has lost 4 consecutive games. Their lead for the number 1 wildcard spot in the National League is down to just a game and a half. This afternoon in Los Angeles, the Dodgers welcome back Clayton Kershaw. First outing of the season, coming off season shoulder surgery. 4 innings of work, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts, 72 pitches. No decision for Clayton. Dodgers and Giants were tied 4-4 in the 8th when Nick Ahmed, released by the Giants recently, picked up by the Dodgers, signed yesterday, hit a tie-breaking home run. And that was immediately followed up by Shohei Ohtani's 31st. They go back-to-back with solo shots. Dodgers with a 6-4 win over the Giants. L.A. 6-1 coming out of the All-Star break. Max Scherzer struck out 9 over 6 innings of 1-run ball. He gets the win. Texas with a 2-1 victory over the White Sox. Scherzer moves in the 10th all-time of the strikeout list. Also this afternoon, the Rays put up a season-high 13 runs, blanking the Blue Jays 13-0. Taj Bradley goes 6 innings, strikes out 7. He's gone 23 consecutive innings without giving up a run for Tampa Bay.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, Joe Burrow said he knows he's pretty good. I'll tell you why he's about to run out of excuses. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Florida to Dallas, Texas. I'm ready. How about them Cowboys? To you. This is Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and on Sirius XM Channel 80.
This is Amber and Ian. No Ian tonight. National champion Marcel Louis-Jacques, who won a national title in NCAA.
Look, as goofy as it sounds, it felt like I actually won a national championship in real life. I had grinded for that moment. You know, I took my luck the previous year, threw an interception in overtime the previous year to lose. Like, for everybody listening, blocked a kick against Georgia with UTSA, blocked the kick with the tie, score tied, and returned it for a touchdown to win the title with time running out.
Hell of an accomplishment.
I mean, if that happens that's Hollywood. That's a movie. You're selling movie rights about that script. Like, if anybody producer wants to hit me up, I'll give you the whole. I'll give you the clip. Here, I'll give you the rights for a good price.
Now, is that college? Is that EA? It's college football now, right? It's not NCAA anymore. I keep referring to it as NCAA because old habits die hard. It's EA, I think, college football 2024 or whatever. So Marcel Louis-Jacques already a natty to national title on the line. He delivered in the best ways, in the most exciting of ways, in the most exciting of moments. James?
I just saw the clip. What an electric way to win a national championship. Right? Oh, my God.
You can't undersell this.
I can't believe that's how you won a national championship.
First of all, I have never blocked a kick in a football video game.
It's so hard to do.
Never blocked. I don't know what happened. Like, just perfect jump. And I don't know why they took so long to kick the ball, but like the presence of mind for that kid to scoop it up and still take it all the way. I mean, I'm screaming in the living room. I'm playing on like the handheld, yelling in the living room. My fiance Haley's like, "What's going on? Is everything okay?" I was like, "No, it's not, babe. We're champions over here."
Better than okay.
She's rethinking her whole life. She's looking at her hand like,
it was one of those where like,
what am I signing up for?
I knew it was insane when it happened, obviously. Like, I knew it was crazy. And I even posted it on Twitter because I was excited about it.
Clearly. That's where James found your clip, I think.
It got 2.3 million views. Like,
oh my, this is like the highlight. This is your peak, though. I don't know where you go from here, Marcel.
Right?
I mean,
the last thing I'll say about it before I drop and we can talk some Dolphins here, but it's a good tie-in. First day of training camp yesterday, I walk into the facility, right? I go downstairs, grab my credential. Guy downstairs, like, he's new. So, yeah, Marcel Louis-Jacques. He's like, oh, yeah, man, I saw what you did with UTSA on Twitter.
Stop.
I was like, man, maybe I should quit my job and just be a UTSA virtual coach.
Just be a gamer.
Just for the clout.
Streamer, what? They're crazy. People are
money.
gamers professionally, I suppose. It's an actual thing now. I don't know if I want you to quit your job, though, because we got to talk to you about the Dolphins, since you do cover the Dolphins for us here at ESPN. If you want to find that glorious clip, though, at Marcel_LJ is where you can find him. At Amber W Sports is where you can find me. Amber and Ian is presented by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit progressive.com. So you've mentioned you're out there at training camp. You're here. You don't look like you've melted today. I'm surprised because I have been out there at Dolphins training camp many a times. I remember it very well, but there's enough drama to melt all the things around you as well, because Tua Tagovailoa, he's there, right? But he's not practicing. So now we're seeing an official hold-in situation with Tua.
I think we can call it that. I think we can call it that after today. First of all, this Dolphins team, just pick a storyline right now. There is no shortage of prevalent information about this squad. But let's start, obviously, with the quarterback there. They've been negotiating this contract extension really for 2 years, but with earnest since this past regular season, since the season ended. They wanted him to prove that he could last an entire year. He played all 18 games. He led the NFL in passing. From his perspective, I did what I was asked. I've performed to the best of my capabilities to what you expected me to do. It's time to pay me. It's time to reward that. It is time to reward that. Obviously, that hasn't happened yet. We got to talk to him at the end of minicamp in June. He was a little terse with us. Even the takeaway quote was, "Hey, I see what other guys are getting, and the market is the market. There's a market in place for a reason." That doesn't sound like somebody ready to take a hometown discount, right, Amber? That sounds like somebody who wants to get paid. So he didn't participate in all of OTAs. He didn't participate in team drills in minicamp, and he didn't do team drills on day one of camp. Today, he didn't do anything. He was there in a hoodie. He, talking to his guys, laughing, joking with his teammates, stood on the sideline, engaged with it. It's not like he just disappeared. But that is, by definition, a hold-in. When you show up so you don't get fined, but you don't actually practice. You don't do team drills. You don't do your individual. It's in part, on the surface, it's so you don't get injured in the midst of a negotiation. But in reality, it's a show of strength and leverage. Because I'll tell you what, Amber, I've been watching this offense for the past 2 days. They need Tua. Mm-hmm. They need Tua. And I know, big shocker, the team needs its starting quarterback. Yeah, they need Tua Tagovailoa. This offense, even with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, is not going to work without their signal caller. So if these past 2 days in which this defense has whooped on their offense are any indication, Tua's got some leverage right now. He has some leverage. And it's one of those, obviously, if they felt 1,000% confident in him, a deal would have been done already. Right. It should have been done before Goff. It definitely should have been done before Trevor Lawrence. There's obviously some hang up here. From my understanding, it's in that guaranteed money, the guaranteed portion of the contract. They're a little ways apart there. But this is something that needs to get done sooner rather than later, because the longer you wait it out, the more expensive it's going to be, and the more emotion is going to spill over into negotiations.
Things aren't getting any cheaper, that's for sure, by them waiting. And you keep seeing the results of that, frankly. And that's why you're allowing these other quarterbacks around the NFL get paid, and they keep resetting the market and not necessarily becoming the highest paid, although Trevor Lawrence did that, tying Joe Burrow, right, per annual. So there's that. And then there's like the Jared Goffs of the world. And then there's, hey, if we keep waiting, what's going to happen with the Jordan Loves of the world? And what is that going to mean for Tua? Because all of these guys end up, frankly, helping Tua's argument, because at the same time, None of them are out here winning Super Bowls. Only Patrick Mahomes does that, and I guess Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, but you know what I mean. There's not many in the league that actually have been out here at all winning Super Bowls. And so if you're Tua Tagovailoa, you know your importance, and also you just generally know where the quarterback market has gone. So you know the Dolphins are going to end up having to pay you. They're not helping themselves, buying themselves any time. But when you say that there's obviously some hang-up, that they're not 100% confident, I do think we have to differentiate the confidence attached to the price tag with confidence generally speaking, right? Because it seems like they've been very committed to moving forward with Tua as their quarterback, but being confident in your guy and then being confident in your guy for $55 million per year or $60 million per year, like those seem like kind of two different things.
They are,
like all of a sudden when we're talking those numbers, it's like, my confidence gets a little shaky if your name's not Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly. There are players, there are quarterbacks in this league where, hey, man, money is not an object. Mahomes deal, money's not an object. Burrow, money's not an object. Herbert, it's not an object. We are going to set both of those, Herbert and Burrow, his draft classmates, those were record-setting deals when they were signed. You know, Burrow came, a little bit after Herbert, but those were both the highest paid contracts in NFL history when they were signed.
Herbert hasn't done any more. He hasn't done any more winning than Tua's done.
He can just throw a ball 95 yards on a rope. Like he's got the physical tools.
I mean, Tua and Herbert, you know, obviously the rookie season and the stats and the gaudy stats he's put up, but Tua's done that in his own right too. You know, Tua I had the most passing yards in the NFL last season. So from that perspective, you could argue it's comparable.
Yeah, I think the Tua debate here is, I think there are obvious physical limitations. He is strong as an ox. Don't get me wrong. He is a strong person. I'm not saying that he's not an athlete, but the arm strength in particular, the ability to push the ball down the field off platform to escape trouble, it's not at that same level as we see from the Mahomes of the world, from Lamar, from Josh Allen. It's not quite that, but that's not a requirement to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I think within this system, nobody runs it better. I don't know how many quarterbacks run the Mike McDaniel system better than Tua Tagovailoa. He deserves all the credit in the world for that. But then when you look at the AFC, right, we're talking about teams that could win the Super Bowl this year. When you look at the AFC alone, you are not reaching a Super Bowl without going through one or more of Pat Mahomes, of Josh Allen, of Lamar Jackson, of Joe Burrow, of C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert. That is a murderer's row of quarterbacks that you have to get through. And in a duel, if you're going, you know, arm for arm, I know team sport, blah, blah, blah. In a duel, I think you trust all six of those guys more than you trust Tua in the playoffs right now, especially if you're playing outside of Miami. That Chiefs wildcard game, it was negative 25 outside. It was minus 25 for everybody. Only one team looked like it.
It's not
Only
fair,
one quarterback looked like it.
When you're used to playing in 10 degrees, minus 25 feels like minus 15. When you're used to playing in 80 degrees, minus 25 feels like minus 100. No, but you're right. I mean, I get what you're saying. Yes, they were playing in the same conditions. Fine. I also understand what you're saying in comparison to all those other quarterbacks. I don't disagree with that sentiment. I think it's weird because, and not that I disagree, but I think it's weird, the narrative surrounding Tua, if you consider the fact that we are talking about a guy that the Dolphins were being accused of tank for Tua, and it wasn't just the Dolphins who were supposed to tank for Tua, right? It was every team at the bottom of that draft in the National Football League. We're talking about a guy who had that kind of hype around him since the time he entered that national championship in college, and we saw the goods. He was as big as you get in college. So it's strange now that he's a system quarterback, because then he comes into the league coming out of college in that way. And yes, I understand the hip injury, but he comes out of the college with all the hype in the world. And then you come into the league and you end up putting up the numbers in the league, and you do lead the NFL in passing yards, and you do look great once Mike McDaniel gets there and cleans up some things that maybe weren't going right under Brian Flores. And he does stay healthy for all 18 last season and proves that he can play through an entire season and still there's some sort of lack of confidence surrounding Tua, and that is what is so strange about that quarterback.
Yeah, it does feel like the goalposts get moved every year, right? And but here's my thing too. Like, I kind of push back against the idea of being a system quarterback as a negative, right? Like, who cares if you're a system quarterback if you're playing in that system and it works? It doesn't matter. We're not talking about could he do this in Seattle? He doesn't have to do it in Seattle. He's in Miami. The system's in place. The coach is in place. The players are there. If it works, then who cares if that's what you want to go after? But the question is not necessarily, is he a system? Is he this or that? It's, what's your other option? What else are you going to do?
Well, and
you're
going
to go get Dak?
There ain't nothing. Maybe.
Dak's not going to get you any further than Tua. Kirk Cousins isn't going to get you any further than Tua. Stafford's not.
No. Well, heck, I'm not. And are you going to trade Tua for, a 36-year-old quarterback? All right. They are yelling at me in my ear that we have to wrap because the alarms are sounding. This is too much Dolphins talk, okay, for ESPN Radio. Too much Miami. So coming up next, we're going to give you our top 5 coaches in the NFL. Man, I hope one of us put Mike McDaniels because it'll be funny. That's next here on ESPN Radio.
What's happening is Q Myers from Game Night here on ESPN Radio. Coming up on the show tonight, Jerry Jones gave his state of the team as the Cowboys opened up training camp. But did anything he say make sense? Plus, we continue with our Rank 'em series, talking about the top 5 coaches in the NFL. Join me, Q Myers, and David Dennis Jr. for Game Night, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Driving this summer in a new Honda. Act now during Honda's summer event to save thousands with low 1.9% financing. Full inventory is here. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, and hybrids. With hybrids, the battery charges as you drive. Don't miss Honda's summer event with big savings on gas or hybrid, like the 2024 Honda Ridgeline, now with low 1.9% financing. Search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details for well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 9/3/24.
The Fan is your home for the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we're not. You can't say that. Take 2.
The Fan is your home of the Buckeyes. Yes, that's right. Same thing, but more playoff success. Now give Big Voice Guy another brandy. Thank you. The Fan.
My name is Dr. Ray Tessner. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Columbus, Ohio. I've been involved with taking care of athletes and aging athletes for over 35 years.
Dr. Ray Tessner knows a thing or two about joint pain. And one thing he's a big believer in right now is regenerative medicine.
The advantage that I see in a regenerative medicine that there's really no downside to it.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting way to deal with joint pain, using natural concentrated healing agents from your own body to go to work on achy joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue.
It's one of the best management tools that's come around in a long time.
Tired of that pain in your knees, hips, back, and shoulder? Before you go under the knife, get a second opinion from QC Kinetics. You really can get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
QC Kinetics has become a leader in the regenerative medicine field.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
The Fan is live and local with Morning Juice, Caffeinate, and Dominate.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
top 5 jerseys.
The Baltimore Ravens, all purple.
Creamsicle, Tampa Bay.
Falcons throwback uniforms.
To the top 5 wide receivers.
CeeDee Lamb.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Tyreek Hill.
Justin Jefferson.
Christian McCaffrey.
Boop, boop.
And everything in between. This is ESPN Radio's NFL Rankum. The top 5 head coaches. Number 5.
We're hopping right into this thing. This is the ESPN Radio Rankum series. Marcel Louis-Jacques is filling in for Ian tonight here on Amber and Ian. Amber and Ian is presented to you by Progressive Insurance. Number 5 for me, Marcel, is Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski, he just won a Coach of the Year, so I don't think it's that crazy to say. But you're also talking about a coach that was doing it with how many quarterbacks last season? What did they go through? Like 5 quarterbacks or something last season, and still was out there, still making a postseason, still getting it done. Yes, it has not been flawless for the Browns. Yes, Deshaun Watson actually would have to turn into something. But in terms of the coaching, I was so impressed by the job that Kevin Stefanski did last season when it was a dumpster fire there in Cleveland. He comes in as a top 5 coach on my list. You're number 5.
I love that one a lot. And look, how about for the sake of getting some fresh names in there, I'm going to go with a guy who people were starting to talk about as on the hot seat last season, Sean McDermott there in Buffalo. Yes, they have not won the big game. They have not made it to the big game yet. But the way he's able to galvanize this team, the way he's able to do, he's essentially what Stefanski does on offense, Sean McDermott does on defense in terms of, having backups and the backups to the backups playing. They lost Matt Milano. They lost Trey White. Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde were hurt throughout the year. They didn't take a single step back there defensively. Obviously, there's some things that he needs to get over. There's some conservative play calling in the playoffs that I think, he's still feeling out. But in terms of just being able to get his team to play for him, there aren't many guys that do it better than Sean McDermott. Although I think I would go Kevin Stefanski, because he's had just as much playoff success, and I love what he did with Flacco and them last year. Again, for the sake of let's get some new names, I'm going Sean McDermott there at 5.
Number 4.
My 4th best coach in the NFL, I will give the nod to Mike Tomlin. Now, this is a coach that is underrated in Pittsburgh, where he coaches, and overrated maybe everywhere else, or so they would tell you in Steeler Nation. The reality is that Mike Tomlin and the over 500 record does count for something when you've been doing it for as long as he's been doing it. He has weathered every storm. At this point in his coaching career, he has weathered bad O-lines. He's weathered bad defenses. He has weathered increasingly poor quarterback play. And that's what you got last season, and that has been the case even at the very end of Big Ben, frankly, at the Big Ben era, but that's been the case certainly since him. He's doing it out there with Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph, and that man is still turning out a winning season. Mike Tomlin is an excellent coach. I don't care what you say, Pittsburgh. You're just spoiled. That's the reality of the situation. That man is gold.
I think Amber, I love Tomlin. My 3 and 4 are pretty interchangeable. At 4, I'm going with John Harbaugh. I think the playoff success, the Super Bowl titles as well. Like he is clearly one of, in that upper echelon of NFL head coaches. He was part of that super team Avengers coaching staff under Andy Reid in Philadelphia, I think in the early 2000s. But him and Sean McDermott, unbelievable numbers there, and Ron Rivera as well. I think that his teams are a little bit more talented than Mike Tomlin's are. I think he's had a little bit more consistent quarterback play with Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco, prime Joe Flacco. Those defenses have been nightmarish as well. I think he's had a little bit more to work with than Mike Tomlin, which is why I'm going to put him at 4. But that's not a knock against him whatsoever. He still has to cultivate that talent and develop them. This is, again, a guy who can get his team to play for him. He can get his team up for big games. You'd love to see him get to one more Super Bowl with Lamar at quarterback, but John Harbaugh there at number 4.
Number 3.
Third on my list, I don't have any Harbaughs on my list, which is shocking. Third on my list is Sean McVay. Obviously a coach that's sometimes incredibly innovative, sometimes actually a little bit old school, has a Super Bowl under his belt. His staff is rated every single season. They all go on to success other places. Sean McVay makes an appearance. 3 for you.
Yeah, Sean McVay's staff is like having the new iPhone. Everybody's got to go get one. Number 3 for me is going to be Mike Tomlin because of a lot of the reasons that you said. Who the heck? I could play quarterback for Mike Tomlin, and Pittsburgh would still somehow have a winning record or be at least 500. I think for what he's been able to do post Ben Roethlisberger, he's earned this spot. He is a leader of men. Mike Tomlin, for me, third best coach in the NFL.
Number 2.
The second best coach in the NFL to me is Kyle Shanahan, a coach that we just saw in another Super Bowl this past season, a coach that I think is so incredibly innovative and can do it with so much different talent out there on that football field. It's impressive each and every season. And then just the Shanahan system, generally speaking. I know that there's this idea that he needs to get over the hump and actually win the Super Bowl. But the records in terms of the conference championships, in terms of the Super Bowl appearances, Marcel, and then just in terms of what he does out there with all of that talent in that system and his coaching tree, it's all incredibly impressive.
Yeah, Shanahan is number 2 for me as well. I think we're going to be pretty chalk here for 2 and 1. His cabinet, his cover gets rated just as frequently as Sean McVay's does. The offensive innovation, I think, the scheme, how it's permeated the rest of the NFL. Kyle Shanahan, what he's built in San Francisco, clearly makes him the number 2.
Remember when, let's hit number 1.
Number 1.
Because remember when we were all questioning, like, can Andy Reid actually get it done? I mean, it was so stupid. Like, he was so good in Philadelphia, too. And then here we are. Obviously, at this point, it's Andy Reid. What can you say?
Yeah, obviously. I think Philadelphia, the relationship just kind of ran its course. That doesn't mean he's any worse of a coach.
Yeah, at 3 and 5, I mean, he's the best to do it right now. Coming up next, we're going to head to Big Ten Media Days right here on ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up on Friday, I'll tell you just how many franchise players there really are in the NFL. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
We go to war for you. Insurance disputes can be a battle, a cage match. But we're here to win it for you. I'm Robert Scherger. At Scherger Schnarr Trial Attorneys, we know the law and we'll fight for your rights. Call us at 877-WARFORYOU.com or visit warforyou.com for a free consultation.
That's 877-WAR-FOR-YOU. 877-WAR-FOR-YOU. Or visit warforyou.com.
War for you, warforyou.com.
Hello, friends. The Sportsbook at Hollywood Casinos, the official sports betting sponsor of Common Man and T-Bone. Watch the games, get in on the action, and admire their AstroTurf. It's Man and Bone approved. The Fan.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny and comfortable. Temperatures around 80 degrees on this Thursday. Overnight down to the upper 50s with mainly clear skies and light winds. Fair skies, low humidity, and a pleasant Friday afternoon. Temperatures back in the low to mid 80s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is Sports
I'm Kevin Winter. They go to the top of the 6th inning at Citi Field between the Braves and the Mets. First of 4 as the Mets try to inch closer to Atlanta for the number 1 wild card spot in the National League. And the Mets have a 2-1 lead thanks to Francisco Lindor. 2-run home run to left in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Back-to-back games for Lindor with a Yabo. It's his 5th home run in the last 4 games. He's been on an absolute tear. Luis Severino, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for New York. Chris Sale looking for his major league leading 14th win of the season. Has given up the 2 runs, both on the Lindor home run. Only 2 hits over 5. 2-1. Mets have the lead over the Braves. Only one other game in the Bigs later on tonight. It'll be the Angels and the A's coming up just about an hour from now. Everything else happened this afternoon, including Dylan Cease of the Padres throwing his first career no-hitter. A 3-0 victory in Washington. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, career-high 114 pitches for Dylan Cease. He gets the no-hitter, the second in the Bigs this season and the second in Padre history. Clayton Kershaw returned to the mound for the Dodgers. First start of the season, coming off shoulder surgery this offseason. 72 pitches over 4 innings. Dodgers and Giants were tied at 4 in the bottom of the 8th when Nick Ahmed and Shohei Ohtani went back-to-back for Ohtani. It's his 31st of the season. Dodgers win 6-4. They come out of the break 6-1. Texas gets 9 strikeouts over 6 from Max Scherzer. 2-1 victory over the White Sox, who've now lost 11 in a row. Tampa Bay blanks Toronto big time. 13-0 season high in runs for the Rays. Detroit a 3-0 victory over Cleveland. Baltimore, after blowing a 5-run lead, wins in 10 over the Marlins.
Hey, it's Michelle Swellman, and coming up Friday, we continue our ESPN Radio Rankem series with My Top 5 Pretenders. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This week in Indianapolis, Indiana, a 3-day event for a Big Ten that is really now the Big 18. Amber and Ian is presented to you by Progressive Insurance. Marcel Louis-Jacques filling in for Ian tonight. Our very own Ian Fitzsimmons is there at Big Ten Media Days. That's why he's not here. And he had an opportunity to sit down with Oregon head coach Dan Lanning. Here is some of that.
Coach, first of all, I hear coaches all the time talk about connection and development, but listening to you at the podium moments ago here at Day 3 Big Ten Media Days at Lucas Oil Field in Indy, you don't just preach it, you find ways to do it. How are you able to find that connection day in, day out with your football team?
I just think because it's that important, right? And, probably going back to my time at Georgia, I think that's was kind of a little bit of the secret sauce that we found there at the end is it's one thing to have great players that can perform great. It's a different thing to love the guys that you're around. And that's something that's been really a pillar that we're part of. And you're going to have hard moments in football games. You're going to have hard moments in life. And the separating factor has to be how well do you know your team? How much are you wanting to go hard for the guy next to you?
How do you do that? How do you accomplish that?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we do Get Real sessions every single week. It's where we spend time, anywhere from 30 to an hour on things outside of football. Let's go take a walk. Let's talk about your why. Let's talk about what makes you tick. Let's get to know each other. Let's go have a fellowship meal. Let's have an occasional meal. Let's compete, right? And we do a lot of it. So I think all those moments, whether it's an opportunity to have all the players over at my house in the summer, whether it's a chance for us to go play Top Golf, I think all those things add up.
What are one of your more favorite memories of those outings you just described?
Last season before the season started, we went and played paintball, and I realized there must be this huge target on my back because these dudes were spraying me. I used to play paintball in the woods in Richmond, Missouri. It's a little different when you got 130 different guys shooting at you. So
let's get the boss.
Yeah, they were not holding back an opportunity to take a free shot.
That's fantastic. Dan Lanning, head coach, Oregon Ducks, here with us on ESPN Radio. Dylan Gabriel comes into your system. Bo Nix ends up 12th overall pick for the Denver Broncos. How does Dylan fit in your system as your quarterback?
Yeah, one, he has a great experience. He's been in a couple different systems. He's proven to be a great passer, have a great understanding of the game, agile with his feet. But part of our system also has to fit Dylan and the players that are in this system. So that's a challenge for us as coaches, and certainly a challenge for him. What is he really comfortable with? What is he, what exists in our program that he can already run and do really well? And then one of the areas that we got to say, okay, let's figure out how we can do this better. And Dylan's been a guy that's attacked that.
What can you do better?
Oh man, a lot of things, and it's not just a general one thing that's going to fix. But being great in critical moments, being able to get the tough yards when it's needed. I think that's something that we all want to attack this year. We can create some of those game on the line opportunities in our practices. Being a team that's strong on third down on both sides of the ball, I think is really important. Creating takeaways and protecting the ball. I mean, explosive plays and takeaways are always going to be the biggest indicators of wins and losses in our games.
How do you feel? And what are comms going to do? Let me rephrase that. What are the comms with the communication with your signal caller on defense, your quarterback, and the tablets on the sidelines? How are they going to change the way, not maybe you coach a game, but approach a game?
Yeah, the information that we're able to give to our players is going to be something that can be really beneficial. What we have to do a great job is make sure that they're able to receive it and use it, right? So we can't go to information overload. We still have to figure out ways to take really complicated things and make them simple, and then give the power to our players. I always tell our guys, you got a tool belt, right? And you've got a lot of tools on that tool belt. I want you to know which one to use and what to grab in the right situation. And that's about them being able to take that information, utilize it, not give them so much stuff that they can't go out there and execute.
Oregon head coach Dan Lanning here with us on ESPN Radio. We're going to a 12-team playoff. You have not just a bullseye on your back when it comes to paintball with your players, but also when it comes to maybe winning a Big Ten championship and now pursuing a national championship. How do you manage those expectations with your team day in, day out?
Well, you make sure that they keep their eye on the main thing, right? And the great news about everyone that has a prediction about our place in the Big Ten or where we finish at the end of the season, 0 of them are going to have any impact on our games, right? We impact our games. Nobody else outside of that room of our players is going to make an impact. So reminding them that they're the secret sauce, they're the piece that actually gets to, translate to success on the field. And no outside noise is going to impact that. And I think our players do a really good job of level setting and recognizing that. We'll see if it carries over for the season.
With this new look, what's one of the more positive things? Everyone talks about the travel and this and that and whatnot. I think Ohio State going awesome is awesome for college football fans. What's one of the more positive things about the new shakeup in the landscape of college football?
Well, you just said it. I don't think college football has ever been more exciting than it is right now, right? Not in the history that I've been around. And some new venues, some new opponents, some new teams that are going to play. It's really positioned us well to have a great product out there for the fans and some great experiences for our players. They're going to get to travel to places they've never been. Our guys are excited about it. They're really fired up about it. I'm excited about the vision of this conference and getting to be affiliated with it. This is one that I've really seen from afar and had a lot of respect for, and now getting to be a part of it matters.
I woke up Tuesday morning here at Big Ten Media Days, and there was a big-ass duck on the river outside my hotel room. Who would mastermind in marketing? And that thing was like 2 stories high. Who came up with that?
You didn't see me out there blowing it up.
No, Marshall Mountshire. You're chief of staff.
Malcolm was out there doing it. No, I just think that's a great example. We talk about being mighty different here, right? And that's a great example of how Oregon's different. They're innovative.
That's awesome.
We don't want to, come into the door and just say, hey, we're here, the new guy. No, we'd like to come in with a bang. And it probably bothers some people, and that means you're probably doing something right.
I can see Marshall being behind that, a 2-story duck floating down the river. Most important question to you as we wrap up here on ESPN Radio, Coach. How are you going to survive in advance week in, week out with a Fitzsimmons now being an Oregon Duck?
Boy, we just got stronger, didn't we? We just got stronger.
Are you sure about that?
We just got stronger. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to see it around the facility. It's going to be fun moments, man. I thought you were going to ask me dark meat or white meat. No, we are pumped to have her on our campus.
You're out of your mind. Good to see you, Coach. Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate you, brother.
That was our very own Ian Fitzsimmons, a reference to his daughter, who will be starting at Oregon as a college freshman this next upcoming season. I know Dan Lanning had a little something to do with talking her into choosing Oregon over her other options. Dan Lanning also had a little something to do with the attention and the spotlight given to Oregon at Big Ten Media Days. Now they are part of the Big 18, Marcel, as I like to call it, which I credit the Big Ten for not bothering to rebrand, because it clearly signifies that they know that conference realignment ain't done yet and that they don't want to have to continue to rebrand. Like, these conferences have just given up. They're like, you know what? We're just going to stay the Pac-12. We're just going to stay the Big Ten. Like, we're just going to rock with it all. And then maybe one day eventually, if there's 35 teams in this thing, maybe then one day we'll get a name change.
That's it. The 10 in Big Ten and the 12 in Big 12, it's more of a construct than, something to be taken literally. It's just a name. At the end of the day, it's just a name. Like, nothing matters anymore. The Southeastern Conference is the only one that's regionally accurate now, because we got Atlantic, we got Pacific Coast teams.
Is Oklahoma the South? I don't think of Oklahoma as the South. I mean, it's
Midwest, South
Midwest. I feel like Oklahoma's more Midwest, right? And now they're part of the SEC.
Probably, but I would say that Oklahoma playing in the Southeastern Conference makes more geographical sense than Cal and Stanford, which you can see the Pacific Ocean from Cal's campus. At the very least, the San Francisco Bay would bleed into the Pacific Ocean. Playing in the Atlantic Coastal Conference, Coast Conference, that makes no sense to me personally.
Right, that makes no sense
an affront
whatsoever.
That's an insult
to geography,
everywhere, to
directions, to compasses. It's offensive to compasses.
And you know who else it's offensive to? The student athletes who signed up to play games on the West Coast, especially those who are from there, so their families can travel here, there, and the third. Like, I'm surprised there weren't more, and if there were, maybe just I missed it or it wasn't publicized. Mass transfers away from Stanford and Cal. Because what the heck do I don't want to. My family's not going to come watch me play Syracuse. They're not going to come watch me play NC State. I thought I was playing Cal. I thought I was playing Oregon. I thought I was playing UCLA. No, that was disrespectful. And those student athletes students, whatever they want to be called now, they can be rightfully upset, furious about that decision, which of course they had no control over.
And we're going to continue to see that. I mean, you even see that here in the Big Ten. I mean, you see Oregon, obviously, with Dan Lanning, and then you see Rutgers in the Big Ten, right, in Jersey. Like, I mean, we see it all across now with conference realignment, geography be damned. And the whole purpose of these things used to be quite literally geography, because, of course, it makes sense when you're considering the travel schedules of these kids. But nobody cares about the travel schedules anymore because it's about money, honey, and it's about who has the biggest television contracts and who has the most money to go around in these conferences and who's pooling their resources together. I don't blame these schools for going after the money. It's something that Oregon is definitely doing, though, joining the Big Ten, where they feel like they'll be getting a bigger piece of the pie that they deserve and some more security there in terms of the conference. Kirby Smart, the Georgia head coach, had a funny joke about Dan Lanning and Oregon at Big Ten Media Days. He said that he wished that he had the NIL money that Oregon and Dan Lanning have. And so Dan Lanning took a shot back and he said, I think it's really impressive that guys like Kirby have been signing the #1 class in the nation without any NIL money all these years, which I thought was a
very interesting,
really,
like that,
really funny little back and forth.
A little ironic. Obviously, Dan Lanning coming from Georgia and knows Kirby Smart very well. But, I like Dan Lanning. That whole speech that was, overplayed to hell before the Colorado game. The Cinderella story is over, man. We play on the field. We play with our pads. Not for likes, not for clicks. I thought it was corny, but the more I watched it, at first I thought it was corny. The more I watched it, I was like, you know what? I kind of like this guy. I kind of like Dan Lanning. I think he's a good fit there up at Oregon. But you're right. You made a good point. Like, with NIL money being so prevalent and people getting, student athletes, players, whatever, getting paid, the NCAA and these schools, they just said, look, man, then we're going to make business decisions. We're going to make business decisions. And part of that business is joining the Big Ten and joining these major conferences.
And that's what it is. It's a business decision. So the new Big Ten is now the Big 18. Coming up next here on Amber and Ian, Jerry Jones said some stuff today. That's always entertaining. We'll head to Dallas next on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio's NFL Two-A-Days. From off-season moves.
I know how special this place is. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
To this season's expectations.
I don't see bust. I see Super Bowl.
And everything in between. Two teams. Every day. It all begins Monday, August 5th with the Panthers and Patriots. Right here on ESPN Radio.
Three dudes who'll make you feel like the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, we hornswoggled you good.
Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee? Arthritic pain like I was having in my knee? Maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gehanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeart